financing edition. I also don't want that stupid clown showing up today. Yes, 14 of the 16 teams that have won Game 1 per Jesse Nelson's stats and information, which I saw ESPN used yesterday. Did they give you credit? No.
They used it after I tweeted it out yesterday afternoon, too, so I think they were watching.
Sketchy. Yes, 14 of the 16 teams.
Total boog.
Boog. I prefer Boog Powell edition. And I wrote about the pass rush. We spent a lot of time talking about it. I am very curious to see how those conversations go this week and if it changes this week against the Rams. Also, by the way, before we get into things, edition, two teams, according to Adam Schefter, high on Davante Adams' list.
Cowboys and Jets.
The Saints and the Jets. We can talk about that a little bit later. Packers not on the list.
That's interesting.
Of Wildy and Tausch.
Yeah,
well, Derek Carr's the quarterback.
Trade to Derek Carr's team. Yeah.
Just making a package deal. Wherever Derek goes, you go too. Edition of Wildy and Tausch.
He's doing it right.
He's not going with Aiden O'Connell. That's for sure. On 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and, of course, everything you need on WisconsinOnDemand.com and the Wisconsin On Demand app. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Jesse Nelson is in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios. That does not appear to be a True Blue Brew Crew shirt.
No, so I've determined all of my Brewers shirts. I've worn them all now for postseason games, and they've lost in all of them.
Then go to the store.
I wore a new thing yesterday, and they still lost. I don't have any lucky clothes for them.
Sleek. You're sleek now. You're
smaller
down to probably
size.
A child's large.
We're rolling
Get
with
a medium.
We're rolling with the Greater Bucky Open shirt. We're gonna try something different. Let's see if
the GBO.
Yeah, let's see if we get some different voodoo going toward that team, because clearly the Brewers gear isn't getting it done.
And from his undisclosed location, he is the Packers Hall of Famer. He's Mark Tauscher. Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Yes, you are. You had them rallying from 8-4, and it didn't happen.
No, I didn't think we'd rally from 8-4. This team is gritty. I don't understand why. There's a lot of stuff I didn't understand about yesterday, but I still have belief. I still have hope, but I'm going to be real irritated if we get beat tonight and everybody's an aw shucks great season guy. That I can tell you what tomorrow's show will be if that's how it goes. So I want to see some fight. We need to advance. We got to find a way. We're better. We're a better team than this New York Mets team.
Not yesterday.
Listen, you play Little League baseball. All right, Coach Cavanaugh would always say, we're not good enough to give 5 outs and 6 outs and 7 outs in an inning.
Mm-hmm.
Can't do it.
Can't.
And when you do, you're going to get your blank beat. So, yeah, you could say, makes a great play out in left field, then drops a routine pop-up? Like, come on now. And you got to cover first base, bruh.
Yeah,
you do either of those two things. You do either of those things, and this whole conversation's different this morning. But you didn't, and now you're down 1-0, and Jesse brought the stat line up, and it's not great.
Not
and
great,
now
Bob.
you don't have your horse pitch it. Like it ain't great. It ain't great.
Jesse is the clown driving around in the parking lot.
Okay, so you can't use the hashtag undaunted and bring out the clown after one game.
All right, wait, is that your hashtag?
No, that's what the Brewers are going. It's got the little.
What is daunted though?
Well,
If
yesterday.
I'm daunted, what does that mean?
You appear to be daunted, yes. It's a daunting task to come back in a 3-game series down 1-0.
Undaunted. They got the whole definition.
Why are we not doing 5-game series? What we don't love, like playoff baseball is your moneymaker. What are we doing?
So this was going to be my question. Well, they don't want it to go into November, and I think it already might.
Don't care.
Deeper in November.
Finish in Labor Day, like I told you. I mean, like, what are we doing?
Just to get out of the way, Dunzo's not out yet. He is not coming
good.
out today. I believe that they still have a chance to come back against this particular team.
Had been
Where
the
is
A's.
Dunzo?
He's warming up.
Is he?
He's stretching in the pen. He is stretching in the pen.
Okay.
In the clown pen.
Could be an early call to the pen for Dunzo tonight, but he is not out yet.
So, Tausch, since you're a big picture guy, you just said, why aren't these 5-game series? My question for you is, so you've got the NBA 7-game series now all the way through, right? It used to be 5
Yeah,
for the
because they
first
like
round, but now
making
it's
money.
7. Yeah,
Yep, they like
that's
making
how Dikembe Mutombo, R.I.P., beat George Karl in the
For
Seattle
some reason, the
Seahawks.
WNBA doesn't do that.
Yeah,
They
5-game
still don't
series.
even go, which is ridiculous.
And I think
What are
3-game
we
before
doing?
that.
I know it's insane. Like,
So my
what are you
question
doing?
for
Go to
you,
7.
my question for you got the
And
NHL.
find a way to get Caitlin Clark to advance so that your game still is a top peak, but that's a whole nother story. Continue.
Sabrina Ionescu is still playing. We like
Let's
her.
be honest. Caitlin Clark moves the needle there. Sabrina Ionescu is not quite moving.
Gesundheit. So
She's
my
not.
question for you is, so you've got the NHL 7-game series, Major League Baseball 3-game, and then the rest are 7, right? Or is the NLDS 5?
The DS is still 5, so it's 3, 5, 7, 7.
So, and then you've got the NFL, it's 1 and done, right? And the NCAA tournament, it's 1 and done. My question for you is, which sports do the better job of assuring that the best team wins and advances? Like,
NBA.
flukily,
NBA.
Packers can win a playoff game in Dallas, even if they weren't necessarily
Asked
the
and
better
answered.
team.
Asked and answered, Your Honor. NBA.
Well, actually, I think it's college football.
No, it's NBA.
Because college football, you can lose, and it's still a
Yeah,
subjective
I
committee
hate to
that
tell you
says
this,
that
Jesse.
doesn't matter.
Georgia
if you lost,
was the
you're
best
fine.
team in college football last year. Did they win the national championship?
They did not, but that's because a committee
Okay.
chose what to do there at the end of the season.
But you just said that they do the best
Yeah,
job.
because you
They
can,
don't.
like, if they make the right choice, they can put the best teams in the position to get in, even if they do lose a significant game down the stretch.
Jesse, did Georgia make it in?
Okay, that's one example. How about the previous 10 years?
Okay. I can give you 100 examples. No.
100 seems
There haven't
high.
even been 100 playoff teams since they went to this
Hey,
format.
fellas, you guys gave me a Law and Order type style question.
I did.
I Judge Wapnered you.
Yeah.
And I said NBA
Lenny
asked,
Briscoe.
answered your
Yeah,
honor.
I agree. And by the way, daunted means to for someone to be made intimidated or apprehensive. So if you are
Yeah.
undaunted, you're not apprehensive and you're
I
not
ain't gonna lie to you.
intimidated.
I'm a smidge daunted now after that loss. I'm daunted. We don't have our horse going. I don't know what their plan is as far as bullpen day, and it's going to be, what, double bullpen days? There's some daunt.
So
Brewers
wait,
fans
both teams are going to
daunted
do bullpen days?
I don't know who the Mets are pitching. I have no idea.
Did you
Yeah, I don't
ever
know.
think, growing up on the farm, I don't know which of
That
your
I'd
brothers.
be daunted?
Well, no,
I don't know.
You were never daunted on the farm. You took after your cat Grouch, who was unfazed by cows and
Grouch was
wildlife,
an
et cetera.
undaunted cat.
Yeah, no doubt,
No doubt about that.
But one of your brothers, if I'm remembering this correctly from your youth, came up with the idea of pitching. Like, it runs in the family. Like, if you're a Tauscher, you're just coming up with crazy ideas that then when people listen to them, they're like, you know what? That's not as crazy as I thought.
They're not crazy ideas. They're better.
Well,
ideas.
they're
Continue.
I would agree, but initially, the initial gut reaction is, oh, that's crazy. Those crazy Tauscher boys, they got another crazy idea. And then you pause, because this is what I do, and then I go, things that make you go, And then I think, not so crazy. Pretty good idea. But if I could get back to my original point, didn't one of your brothers, was it Pat, was it Helmut, that came up with the idea of pitch one pitcher each inning?
Yeah,
Like
Pat thought of that.
it come up with that in like 1980.
So Pat thought of that a while ago, and it was in essence because what we've seen is pitch counts. We saw last night. What, Peralta go 4 innings? Everybody's freaking out. You're going to pay a guy $25-30 million, and now you're still going to that theme. So why not get a bunch of pitchers that you're going to just go for an inning? And yeah, I want to say this show started in 2016. He brought that to the table immediately. And I thought...
Oh, not when you were kids?
No. Well, maybe he did, and he just didn't tell me. But this was, the case where you would look at it and say, I'm not going to dump all my money into 2 horses. I'm going to go get me a stable, and I'm going to just I'm going to ride that horse. And we've seen that unfold. Now, would I rather have a horse that's going to give me 7 strong? I would.
Brandon Woodruff
But
instead
when
of throwing
you're
the
a
first
small
pitch to Bill
market
Schroeder.
plucky team, I didn't catch it. What'd you say? I don't want to miss these subliminal. I don't know why you don't just wait till I'm done and then say it so I can.
I don't know why you don't do that to me either. But well, yes, I do actually.
Because I forget my train of thought.
Yes, that's exactly right. Yes, I apologize. I just
you
was
don't
trying
have that same issue.
I was trying to wedge in there. You were saying you want your horses, and I just said you don't want Brandon Woodruff throwing a ceremonial first pitch to Bill Schroeder, which is what he did yesterday. We want
Bill
him
looked
actually
good
pitching.
though. He looked good catching that pitch. So that was one of the things, and I think that's great for a lot of things, but just like teams are now starting to talk about the starting quarterback position and saying maybe we just build all around that and bring in Joe Flacco or a younger version of that that's cheaper and just execute our plan. Let me know how that goes for you, people. Because I got a hunch, while, yeah, it's cute that you have the bullpen day and all this, I still believe, just like in hockey, a great goaltender can even things up. The starting pitcher the next day is the biggest momentum shifter you have in sports. You can have a horse go out and momentum swung completely to the New York Mets. Now, if you had Woody or Burnsy or whoever it would have been that could go lock down today, all of a sudden that momentum flips back. So it's great. It's what small market teams are looking for, different Moneyball style solutions. But horses are horses, and horses are typically who eats the championship hay.
A horse is a horse, unless, of course, it's a bullpen day for your team. Okay.
I love when we talk baseball.
We're coping. As I said yesterday when we had Bill Schroeder on, who was great, by the way, and we just adore him, and we appreciate every time he makes time for us, including when he's going to the ballpark to have a couple of Coors Lights and not work, and we have to listen to Boog instead on television.
I wonder how many people would have rather had me and Bill call the game than Boog yesterday.
From sitting behind them.
Jesse, if we get you a ticket, would you digi only and sit behind Bill and do this?
You got to get 2 tickets because Maddie's got to be there to film it.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Maddie, I know you're listening. Get to it. I mean, we are the flagship rights holder for the Milwaukee Brewers. I got a hunch we can probably pull this
We
off.
do have volleyball tonight, so I'll be watching in the studio.
Well,
Let Chrissy do pre and post.
Yes.
Probably.
She's actually from New Jersey, and they're playing Rutgers. She probably knows more about the Scarlet
there
Knights
you
than I
go.
do.
It's
Yeah.
a perfect fit.
It's all coming together. There's a 1-1 to Adamas, and there's a swing and a drive. Make sure you tune in for Wildy and Tout.
Hey, Billy,
tomorrow at
hand me
9.
that Coors Light. What are you doing over there?
I understand.
Billy, you going to finish those cheese curds?
It's fine that we're not going to get BA and Rock on the call, but 2 years in a row, we get Boog, who's the voice of Cubs TV, and the Cubs reporter, Jesse Rogers, for ESPN as the sideline reporter. Not a big fan of that. Like, can we get Ravitch at least so we get, like, somebody that's not, council related here? Kind of frustrating.
Yeah, I
think
tell.
we could probably I think Sophia could be in there and probably do a fantastic job, too.
Like, get Passan on the sideline. Like, get any of the other crews. 2 years in a row, we get Boog and Jesse Rogers doing the game.
You guys
They're
just
the
hate
Cubs
Boog.
guys.
The bottom line is you both don't like Boog. I like Boog. I like his name.
No, you don't.
I like he's a bigger guy.
You're a liar.
What?
You do not like Boog. Don't be making
like
it sound like Jesse and I are the ones who don't like him.
Jason, I like the fact I knew he irritated the hell out of you when he came on our show.
He was a jerk when he was on the show. Maybe he was having a bad day.
He's a little smug. He's a great Cubs broadcaster.
He's smug.
Yeah, you don't like
Boog.
smug.
He belongs
Every
on that
time
Cubs
I'm
network.
Smug, you get after me.
If it's tastefully done, I don't mind smug. If it's tastefully done.
No, I prefer sleek, and that is what the deals are at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
I just love you have the dumbest grudges. You hold the dumbest grudges, Wildy. I don't know.
Coming up next on Wildy
great
and
part
Tosh,
about
back
you.
to back, Boog Sciambi, followed by Dan Orlovsky and Nicole Briscoe, all in the 10 o'clock hour. Get out of here.
Well, I'll tell you one thing you don't hold a grudge about, getting a great deal from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Get the look that you want for your home with customizable windows and doors from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. The durability of materials gets tested. They open and close those doors over and over and over, the latches, the shades, tens of thousands of times to ensure that they last for years to come, unlike Wildy's washing machine. Pella's offers customs colors and innovative features like shades between the glass, and right now you get 0 interest for 36 months. Certain restrictions do apply. Halloween is the end of this. Got a couple days, but get moving. Get started today at PellaWI.com.
I don't appreciate being misquoted on your Twitter, by the way. I didn't say I expected a decade or more. I expect 10 years. I got 7. And there was a guy who installs washers and dryers who said that you want to get a decade, anything more is a bonus. I'm fine with that, but I came up 3 years short.
I said you wanted a decade. I said you wanted a decade.
You said a decade or more.
I said decade plus. Like, you get your steak medium rare. I said decade plus.
What do you think the definition of a plus is?
More. We will have more.
Daunted.
Although we're going to shift gears.
Oh, by the way, I had my conversation this morning, and washing machines should be like autos. It shouldn't be, I've had a car for 10 years. I expect it to get 25 years. I expect to get a certain amount of mileage. So I want you to put an odometer on your next washing machine that you just bought. And it's about the load management. It isn't about how many years Boog pitches. It's about how many pitches Boog throws.
Stop saying Boog.
This is now, how many loads are you looking to get out of your washing machine?
Does this mean I'm going to have my equivalent of bullpen days where I use like a washboard to wash things?
You maybe sometimes hand wash or spritz or dry clean or yes.
I will say this. I went because I had all this soaking wet laundry that did not finish its term in the dead washing machine. So I wrang it all out. I put it in multiple laundry baskets. I went to a laundromat for the first time since I was in college.
Forever.
And I gotta say, they have washing machines that you could fit not that you would want to, but you could fit the 3 of us in them. They're that big. It was $9. I took all the laundry, put it in that one load, got it all clean. I was back out of there in an hour and 15 minutes. I was pretty impressed.
What did that cost you? How much does that cost?
$9 for the wash and about $3.50 for drying. So is it more could I save some money if I just start doing the show from a laundromat every Wednesday?
I think a digi-only Wildy at the washing machine.
I ain't going to lie to you. If you're willing to go do a show from a laundromat, I'd be on board with that.
You and Strofe have been looking for a rebrand of that weekly Wildy show. Wildy at the wash.
That actually is not a bad,
Dirty Laundry with Wildy and
There you go.
Wildy and Strofe.
The spin cycle.
I want to get to this Davante Adams story before we get to another former Packer. Bryan Bulaga scheduled to appear at 9:30. We'll talk a little bit about Davante's conundrum next. It's Wildy and Tausch.
Wildy and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Hey, Hey, it's Jason Wilde letting you know that Tausch and I are going to be out at Steinhoffel's in Waukesha on Friday doing our show live. Steinhoffel's is celebrating its 90th anniversary with its biggest, best brands, best prices sale. Take 10% off all their best brands of sofas, bedroom, and dining, including special orders. And with Steinhoffel's 18-month 0% interest financing, your new room is even more affordable. So stop by and say hi this Friday as we broadcast from Steinhoffel's in Waukesha, right off I-94 on Highway F.
Lock in for October. Brewers postseason tickets are on sale now. Clear your schedule, claim your spot, and be here for a Brewers postseason run you don't want to miss at brewers.com/postseason.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Consult a doctor prior to use.
Wow, you look amazing. What have you been doing?
I'm sure you've heard of Ozempic, Wegovy, and the other GLP-1 medications, right? Well, I found this great company called Zelfie. If you qualify, their providers can prescribe medications like Ozempic and Wegovy and other GLP-1 medications that are 80 to 90% less expensive, all 100% online.
I can get GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% less and do it all online? No doctor's office or pharmacy?
Yes, Zelfie can provide semaglutide or tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and other expensive GLP-1s, but for 80 to 90% less and shipped directly to your door.
How do I get started with Zelfie?
Just send them a text.
Text GIVE to 200-300 to get started today with Zelfie. Get the same active ingredients in Wegovy or Ozempic, but for 80 to 90% less and 100% online. Don't wait. Text GIVE to 200-300 right now for a link to your exclusive offer. Text GIVE to 200-300. That's GIVE to 200-300. GIVE to 200-300.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde letting you know that Tausch and I are going to be out at Steinhoffel's in Waukesha on Friday doing our show live. Steinhoffel's is celebrating its 90th anniversary with its biggest, best brands, best prices sale. Take 10% off all their best brands of sofas, bedroom, and dining, including special orders. And with Steinhoffel's 18-month 0% interest financing, your new room is even more affordable. So stop by and say hi this Friday as we broadcast from Steinhoffel's in Waukesha, right off I-94 on Highway F.
It's bird bashing season when you swoop into Potawatomi. Thursdays, you could win up to a wicked 50 grand cash in the Bird Bash Game Show. Just play with your rewards card all October for entries. All Bird Bash entries go towards a December 20th giveaway with a monstrous 300 grand in prizes. Bird Bash makes its bewitching return. Only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Learn more at paysbig.com/birdbash. Must be 21 years old to play.
You know, sometimes when you hear a radio ad like this one, you think, yeah, maybe I should look into this. But you never do. Hi, Andy Haver here, owner of Progress Manufacturing in West Bend. Like many of you, I've heard radio ads for QC Kinetics. So I finally went to check them out because I've had chronic bursitis in my elbow for many years. I got cortisone shots, but those quickly stopped working. My doctor told me that the only solution for my bursitis was surgery. After my initial free consultation, the medical professionals at QC Kinetics designed a treatment plan specific for me. I'm really happy I went because QC Kinetics helped me be pain-free with no drugs, surgery, or downtime, and their entire staff was friendly and made me feel comfortable. My only regret is that I didn't call them sooner. Lasting joint pain is just a phone call away. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474 with locations in Mequon and Greenfield.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Tito's Handmade Vodka, America's original craft vodka produced in Austin, Texas, and naturally gluten-free. Tito's Handmade Vodka.
Bryan Bulaga coming up. Can you believe this? This is from my childhood. It still fits if you adjust the sizing inside. These were well made. Not sure how protective they were, though.
Better than your washing machine, I know that.
What you just trying to bait me?
No, the helmet's 50 years old.
Goes well
Still
with my
working.
youth large shirt that I'm wearing.
That was a good line. It kind of got lost in the shuffle a little bit. But it was a good line. Davante Adams wants to be traded. How much worse could this have gone for him? Obviously, barring injury.
Well, he got paid. I mean, he got good money.
He did. From a football legacy, though, does this mean that he was one of the business decisions?
His legacy's going to be just fine. Like, he's going to be a Hall of Famer. He's not he's still got chapters to write. It's why you don't go and put your eggs in one basket of I'm going to play with X. Things change very quickly. And that's why I would recommend Davante not just saying, I want to go play with my buddy. I want to go play with A-Rod, or I want to go play with Derek
DC.
I don't think that's in his best interest either. So, being comfortable and knowing that's all great. And sometimes it works beautifully. Sometimes it doesn't. It obviously did not work when it comes to on-the-field production. And even with all that said, I think he had a pretty monster year his first year with Derek Carr.
It's kind of like Charles Woodson being disgruntled and having 8 interceptions. Yeah, he did. He was really productive.
Well, great players are going to be great players. But now when you're mentally not where you need to be and it's just not working, I don't fault Davante for asking and wanting to go out, but this isn't going to be – he's not an unrestricted free agent. The Raiders are going to go where they think it's the best fit for them. You want to kind of bulldog your way out of town, great, but you ain't going to get everything you want. And if that's the case, you're going to be pretty miserable. So maybe it'll end up being the Saints. Maybe it'll be the Jets. Maybe it'll end up being a great move. But I think at some point Davante's got to look at this and just try to figure out how he wants to finish his career, and it not just be I want to hang with my buddies, because that did not work the last time he went that route.
So Chris in the ESPN Madison YouTube comments, I'm always lurking, makes the point that I was about to make, which is this. And again, I have said this repeatedly, the information he had at the time he made his decision supported his belief that Jordan Love wasn't going to be what Jordan Love has turned out to be. Like, he didn't believe in Jordan Love, period. He didn't think he was very good. He practiced with him.
What happens to a lot of gamblers when they go out to Las Vegas?
They crap out. Did I use that term correctly?
You did.
Okay. They crap out.
He bet on the wrong horse. I know this is a horse show today. We're talking horses. He bet on the wrong horse. He bet on the wrong horse.
Well, and now he's considering betting on him again.
He's trying to relive the old horse days, and a lot of times horses, as they age, they're not as great. They don't get paid as much to run. I don't think that's where they're at here. Maybe I'll be wrong. New Orleans.
What do they get paid to do?
Stud. They get paid to stud. And at this point, I just don't know. We'll see, man. Davante's still got a lot of good ball left in him. But can you imagine 2 years ago when this was it 2 years, or this has been 3 years now? This is his third year out in Vegas.
Correct. Yes, 22, 23, 24.
Could you imagine in 3 years, and Davante's, 31 or 32 now?
I think he's only 30, but let me check that.
You start looking at this, and right now, as a Packer fan, I don't want Davante on this team. I don't think it's a fit. I don't want to pay him the money, that even though he's not a top end. Like, if Green Bay could get him for a third-round pick today, I still am saying no. I'm still going to say I don't think that's a good fit.
Well, they already have Davante. His name is Dontavion Wicks, as I've told you many times. All right, I want to get to Bryan Bulaga, who is...
Well, how old is Davante?
He is 31. You were correct.
Checked.
Yep, you're 31.
Okay, thank you.
He's 31. Not you. You're
funny
not
how when I'm right, you don't really chime in on
it's right in front of me. I was just getting that little tidbit in. I would have made sure I got it in.
Hey, don't you be booging me, Boog.
I'll give you Boog.
Jason, if you could get Davante for a third-round pick, are you bringing it back to Lambeau?
Yes, but again, and just like the tweet that I had with who's the doctor in Austin Powers, he's doing the come here, give me a hug to his son.
Dr. Evil.
Yeah. When I did that, that was not. I don't think the team should reacquire him either. They're fine. They don't need that.
Well, why did you tweet that then?
Because I want him. Because I want him back. Media starts with me.
Okay. Sure.
It helps me write my stories. He's obviously, but like he said on Max Crosby's podcast, had he known Jordan Love was going to turn out to be what Jordan Love has turned out to be, that would have changed his thought process. And I think that's important to recognize.
And as the Packers love to remind you, they're also going to pay him more than what the Raiders ended up paying him.
Yeah, don't. Okay, that's.
Well, it's the truth.
They weren't going to pay him more than they offered.
Did you ever hear the old saying, better late than never?
Yeah,
so
that's not even true.
If we pulled this, yeah, I don't know that. You could fill me in on that. Does Devontae really regret? Just a little regret or no regret? I'm guessing he really would regret how this all shook out.
Yeah. I would think so too. And maybe someday he'll have another edition of receiver to promote, and we'll get in the rotation. So he'll come on the show instead of just texting me back and telling me how much Netflix paid him to go on all those shows. All right, we need to get. Speaking of getting paid, you can get paid up to 2 days.
Netflix pay him quite a bit?
More than we were
Pretty
willing
substantial.
to. That I can say for certain. But you take that money that you get paid by Netflix or by us or whoever you get paid by, and you put it in your account at Associated Bank, and then you've got the best customer service in the industry working for you. And if you got direct deposit, even if it's from the Raiders, you still have access to your money up to 2 days early with early pay. So check out AssociatedBank.com to find out more. Bryan Bulaga, Iowa. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcast for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
The kick is up and wide left.
Why don't they customize the goalposts? Make them wider.
Gina Della from Pella? How'd you get into the booth?
And why just yellow? Add some green stripes.
Sure, Gina. Should they also remove the G at midfield and paint a Pella crest?
Okay, Wayne, you can't customize a football game to go the way you want, but Pella can customize your home the way you want.
Right now, get 0% interest for up to 36 months. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 10/31/2024.
Okay, close your mouth and take a deep breath in through your nose. So the way it's supposed to be is that you should be able to breathe easily. You shouldn't feel constrained. What it should feel like is air briskly flowing freely through both nasal passages, day and night. And if not, there's a problem. And it's a don't know what your problem really was until you got it fixed kind of problem. You're living with it. I mean, you're tired a lot. It might give you headaches and sinus pressure, but you're living with it. Yeah, you sound like almost every patient we help until we get their problem fixed. And then you hear them saying, why would I put up with that? Advent will get you breathing freely again with simple in-office solutions like turbinate reduction along with balloon sinuplasty that really can change your life.
To date, Advent has solved over 40,000 breathing triangle problems. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows. When you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Results may vary.
Milwaukee College Prep, dedicated to closing the opportunity gap for children in Milwaukee, redefining what's educationally possible so more children can pursue their dreams. Join me, Good Karma Brand's founder CEO Craig Karmazin, and Milwaukee College Prep Thursday, October 17th, and take a stand in closing the opportunity gap for Milwaukee scholars. Your support means quality education accessible to over 2,000 scholars in Milwaukee's most challenged communities. Milwaukee College Prep is closing the opportunity gap. To learn more and purchase tickets, go to MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com and click support.
Hey sports fans, looking to level up your next private event? V Private Bar Services is your game changer. Move beyond the ordinary. V Private Bar Services crafts custom cocktails tailored to your brand and your guests' taste. Imagine a bar experience that's as unique as your business. Our expert mixologists will create a memorable experience that your clients and team will rave about. From signature cocktails to full-service bars, we've got you covered. Be the MVP of your next event. Visit vprivatebar.com/MVP to book today.
There's a good chance you're on a budget. We all are. But she wants a diamond. You know it. I know it. And Robert Hack Diamonds knows it too, because they offer a huge collection of lab-grown diamonds, and they sell them at crazy prices. How about 2-carat total weight diamond studs for $8.95? Robert Hack Diamonds can get any size, shape, or clarity in natural or lab-grown diamonds. Don't buy until you call Robert Hack Diamonds. $8.95 for a 2-carat pair of diamond studs. Oh, baby! Robert Hack Diamonds in Greenfield and in Brookfield. Why overspend when you can save at Robert Hack Diamonds for the same diamond you're looking for? Some jewelers are charging nearly $5,000 for a lab-grown diamond. Not Robert Hack. Your visit will be worth it, and she'll think so too. Robert Hack also offers repair services and cash for your old gold. But remember, before you do anything, as I did, RobertHackDiamonds.com, and visit them in Brookfield or in Greenfield.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
They treated me like family.
They're actually people that you can depend on.
They made me feel seen. They really treated me like I was a part of their family, a part of their team.
They ask how you're doing, how you're feeling.
They're just so welcoming and so sweet and kind.
It's like family, caring about another member of the family.
If you've been injured, it costs you nothing to see if Gruber Law Offices can help.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Back in Rutherford County, our crowd is second to none. You might not know them here in this big city we're in, but when I go back home, I've got some famous friends. Yeah, I do.
Bryan Bulaga, what are you doing here? The former Packers right tackle joins us every week on Wednesdays, including today. Bryan, good morning. How are you?
Okay, after the Brewers last night, everyone doing all right?
Well, I'm more worried. What's the situation in Florida? Because as I pointed out, while my frustration about a wash machine and water all over the laundry room and everything else was not ideal, there's way, way worse that other people are dealing with. How did you come out of Hurricane Helene?
We came out fine. I mean, just some damage to fences and gates and a couple trees down that I've been dealing with. And but besides that, you know, we got very lucky with the way the storm went, you know, through the Gulf of Mexico and what we just got. We just got a lot of winds and rain, nothing too bad. I mean, down by in Sarasota and all those little islands, the Keys and Anna Maria Island, like they got flooded out. I mean, we're talking 5-6 foot of storm surge. People's houses are full of sand. Like, I mean, it was crazy. Like, since we're a little more inland, we got spared. Like, we just got, you know, just typical, you know, damage you'd get from high winds. You know, I think like it got up to 70, 75 mile an hour winds. So just, you know, some trees and stuff that you wish you would have secured down maybe a little bit better and you didn't, like fences and gates, you know, that, you know, the arms that swing on fences. Probably should have done a little bit more secure that, I guess, just
battening down the hatches.
Yeah, I guess putting like gates on in cinder blocks didn't really do what it needed to do. It probably should have done a little bit more. Lesson learned. I got it now. Going forward, what needs to be done. But it's nothing compared to what, you know, you look kind of what the panhandle of Florida got going through Tallahassee and the kind of the east coast of Florida, and then obviously what's happening in North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia is not even like it's insane. So we got really lucky. I'll just say that.
Well, it looks like you also lost your AirPods at some point. Now you've got some sweet headphones that you got over your head, so you look good.
Yeah, they're dead. Yeah, they're dead. I put them on and nothing was connecting, so I have to make a quick change here.
You look great. You're going to be calling plays later in the show. I do have one quick question before we move on. Your former teammate, Davante Adams, is now looking to be traded. I'm curious, were there any offensive linemen that if they had left and gone to another team, you liked them enough to change teams too. Like, he's chasing Derek Carr around the country. Would you have done that with, like, City or TJ or any of those guys?
No, I wouldn't have offensive line followed. Listen, I don't know if, but at the same time, it would have been cool to play next to, those guys again. And I got the chance with Corey going to L.A., to be around him for another year.
So you followed him. My fault. That's true. How did I forget that?
Yes, I followed Corey. He actually came after me.
I know.
But it was cool to spend another year with him and have a familiar face. But I guess it's different with the quarterbacks and the receivers, right? Like, if you have good rapport with someone, you just do, and they understand you, and the dynamic's a little bit different from linemen and receivers and quarterbacks. But I was listening to you guys a little bit before I got on, like I normally do, and hearing the Devontae talk and would he be a good fit back in Green Bay. Listen, I don't think right now the current situation that we have in the receiver room, I don't know if Tay would fit in fantastically right now. I think the dynamic of the room is really good. And it's not a knock on Tay. Tay is a true number one wide receiver, and he demands X amount of looks and throws a game no matter what. And he deserves it because he's that good. But the way our wide receiver room currently is right now, it's not the way it works, and it's not the way it's flowing. A bunch of different guys are getting looks. There's not certain plays set up for one specific guy. And Tay needs to be in a system that, he could play in any system, but he needs to be in a system where he is the focal point. He is the guy. And then because he's earned that over his career. He is a stud. So, he deserves to be the focal point. You would look at Minnesota with Jefferson and Cincinnati with Jamar Chase. You look at these systems, they're built around that guy, and that's what Tay's earned. And I don't think he'd get that in Green Bay, because it's just not the way it is anymore. In the current situation Green Bay's in, but I do think Tay deserves to be in a better situation. I just do. You're, and I get. Hey, he made his decision. He went where he went. He was there, obviously.
Bet on the wrong horse.
Buddy.
He bet on the wrong horse.
And he went with his guy Carr. Who, and then obviously Carr left, and now he's in the situation he's in. Everyone makes their own bed, right? That's the way this thing goes in the NFL. You move, you go where you go.
Grass ain't always greener, Blue. The cash is always greener. It doesn't mean the grass.
Yeah, the cash.
Oh, and by the way, I know you text Jesse. Jesse keeps telling us. Jesse wanted to trade Jordan Love for Derek Carr. Let's just all make sure we remember that.
Wait, did he
Jesse
say that?
Wanted to trade Jordan Love for Derek Carr.
I did say that, yes. Before Jordan Love started any games, when Rodgers was still here.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, Jesse. I don't remember. I don't remember hearing that soundbite. But now that I did, man, I got to really question your evaluations.
Actually, if I remember, didn't I want to trade Aaron Rodgers for Derek Carr and 2 firsts?
I think
that was the deal I wanted to do.
You love Derek Carr now.
Yeah.
And so does Devontae.
More than Devontae.
Blue, what do you think? If you're Devontae, how does this shake out? Because you don't have control. Now, you could say, well, my hamstring's going to continue to be bad because let's say New England wants to trade for you. That's not going to be a better situation. Pittsburgh. I don't know if that's going to be a better situation. So how this all shakes out, what are you doing if you're Devontae?
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know what situation he's looking to go to. Obviously a winning situation is what he wants to be in. But with that, he needs a quarterback too, right? It's Pittsburgh, yes, they're winning, but they don't have a quarterback that's going to throw the football. What was the Friends thing? What does that have to do with it?
The group of wide receivers that they have.
That was an accident. Sorry, didn't mean to.
Oh, got it. Okay,
way to go, Jesse.
I just want to know the reference before, so I understand.
Put up a picture of Kirk Ferentz instead next time, please.
Yeah, but I think Tay wants to go somewhere that's a winner. and that there's a quarterback. And like, you look at a lot of these teams right now, like who are the teams that have the capital available to go get them in the cap space?
Washington could be kind of sexy.
Yeah, Washington is a sneaky one, I think. And like, are the Jets a player? I don't know. I don't know if the Jets are a player in this. Like, they certainly could be. I'm not saying it's for sure, and I certainly don't know anything, but they could be a player in it. But I don't see that. I see it more being like a team like Pittsburgh or like or a Washington or someone like that. But like you said, Tay unfortunately isn't in the driver's seat with this. Like, he's not. Mm-hmm. He doesn't get to dictate the terms of the trade. He doesn't have that type of, unless there's something in his contract that we don't know about. Like, hey, he has a trade clause. Yeah, where
he could do a Hassan Reddick too and say, well, yeah, you could trade me there, but I'm just not going to play. And then the team's going to say, well, I'm not going to trade a second-round pick for that. So you just hope the best, because by all accounts, and you guys know Devontae a heck of a lot better than I do, great dude, great player, still a really good football player, but I'm kind of I don't think where Green Bay's at and where they're headed, it sounds crazy to say, I don't want Devontae Adams back in that locker room. And I don't know why I'm saying it, but I don't.
Like, and I don't know if I look at it from a, like, want him in the locker room, like it's going to be a personality clash. Like, I don't think that's the case. I just don't think where our wide receiver room is right now. Like, I don't know where he comes into that and fits into that group right now. And that's not because he can't fit into a group. I just don't think, with the way the receiver room is currently and the ball, the way it gets spread out to everyone, and there's no true number one. If you bring in a true number one and an alpha type personality that he is, I don't know how that pans out. Like, I don't know how that works out. So, and again, I'm not a GM. I'm not a head coach. I'm not a wide receiver coach. I don't know how you balance those dynamics. I've had wide receiver rooms on teams that I've been in where it's all a bunch of number one type guys. And how that gets balanced out, I don't know. When you got a room of Devontae, Jordy, like guys that are really good players, how do you balance?
Your quarterback needs to be the key to that. And
yes, well, the quarterback.
I don't know if Jordan.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not sure Jordan's there yet, but I was going to ask you this. How close are we to anointing Jayden Reed as that alpha number one guy here in Green Bay? Because he got a lot of targets last week. He's, I think coming into the season, and you correct me if I'm wrong, Blue, I think coming into the season we thought Watson, deep threat, Romeo Doubs, your intermediate, Jayden Reed's your everything, your jet sweep, I thought he'd lead the team in receptions, but I didn't think he'd be a big play guy as well. He's done, in a small sample size, what we saw last week, him high pointing footballs and making plays, getting the crowd into it. Are we ready to crown him, or are we still not there?
I mean, I don't. It's a tough one, because I still think the way the scheme and the system is set up with the current group of guys, like, there isn't a true one. But the way he's playing, he is establishing himself as the number one, as the go-to guy. And we see in the situation that we saw the team was in last week, backs against the wall, guys were looked at, guys that, we thought we were going to be, like you mentioned, Dobbs had some drops, Wicks had some drops, and the one reliable that we saw time and time and again, who Love kept going to, was Jayden Reed. And he was playing really well and catching passes and getting open and making plays. Like, that's what number ones do. And that's what he's continuing to put on tape week in and week out. So, yeah, I mean, you look at his output right now and what he's giving and how he's performing, it looks like number one material. And I get that Green Bay is going to continue to say we don't have a number one, but we're all watching the same games, and we're seeing the performance by him, and it's showing number one receiver, and that's the way it is. And Love's going to continue to target him, because why wouldn't he, right? There's not like, it's not like Jordan, and that's what I like about Jordan Love so much, that he throws it to the open receiver. Like, that's what I like about him. He doesn't play favorites, but there's a reason why he continues to throw it Reed's way, right? Because he's open, yeah, but he knows he can count on him to go up for 50-50 balls. He's going to catch it, and then he's going to get it and do something with it, which is also a feat and a trait about him that I like a lot. So, yeah, I mean, to me, I look at the receiver group, and to me, he is the number one guy right now. Like, that's the way I look at him. He's the number one, and yeah, these things change throughout a season, right? Like, guys get hot. Like, we saw Wicks get hot last year. Dobbs came up big at times last year. But right now, we're talking about the team right now. Yeah, it's Reed. He's your number one dude right now.
All right, we've only got Bryan for 2 segments. He's got to fix a fence and pick up some leaves and some branches and charge up his headphones. So I want to get into more Packers-related stuff. I will say this. The team that I'm intrigued by for Davante Adams is the Lions. Big Cat, Joshy, and I are on the same page there.
Not going to happen.
Okay. Okay, well, we'll have to wait and see where he ends up. It won't be in Green Bay, and all of us agree that is not the right fit now, given what they have. I want to get into the Packers' pass rush. I know Bryan is an offensive line expert by trade, but why can't they get home to the quarterback unless they're playing Will Levis? We'll talk about that and much more as we roll on with Bryan Bulaga. Tausch, remind us, though, about what AmFam and the Packers have going on right now.
Well, they got a bunch of great stuff going on. They got Badger stuff, but Packer fans looking for the ultimate game day experience. American Family Insurance, they have you covered. Picture this. Hit your very own VIP tailgate and cheer on the Packers from jaw-dropping seats. Enter the Dream Weekend Sweepstakes to win amazing game tickets, private tailgate, exclusive Jordan Love merch. We'll get some to Davante as well. Sounds great, right? Well, don't miss out. Head over to amfam.com/Packers to enter. You have until the stroke of midnight on October 21st. See official rules at amfam.com/Packers. Dream fearlessly. Insure carefully.
More with Bulaga next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance. New manager.
We're going to band together and we'll have these guys ready to compete.
New team.
Churio, a grand slam.
Same old crew.
Williams, the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. By William Contreras. Another 3-run home run for Willie Adames.
It's playoff baseball season.
Believe that there's a reason this group ended up first place, wire to wire.
The hunt for Brew October on 94.5 ESPN is sponsored by Delta Dental.
Looking for that ultimate game day hangout during football season? Welcome to Magoo's on the Mound. Now open at 11 a.m. Tuesday through Sunday. With 13 TVs, you won't miss a moment of the action. Enjoy our free 100-square pool with amazing prizes and a complimentary halftime buffet. Plus, we've got great drink specials to keep you cheering. And don't forget, we offer shuttles to and from all Milwaukee baseball games. Magoo's on the Mound, where green and gold fans gather and where every game day is a win.
Panic strikes as you realize on Wednesday that Thursday is your anniversary. The reservations being secured.
We'll see you at 8.
The gift being purchased. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with early pay up to 2 days early on direct deposits. So even though they call you Last Minute Lisa, we'll make your last minute scrambling a bit easier. You've got this with early pay from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
Football season. Best time of the year and my favorite time of the year. This is ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman. On game days, my favorite teammate is a cold carbless in my hand. Premium cocktails in a can made right here in the great state of Wisconsin. Maybe it's when I'm at the tailgate ahead of kickoff or getting ready at home for the game. Carbless is there. 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and gluten-free. Carbless features classic cocktails like margarita, Paloma, and even Moscow Mule, and vodka cocktail flavors like cranberry, lemon, and peach. Find it on your next grocery trip. Carbless. Less is more.
Make plans now for early October football at the Perk when UW Whitewater hosts UW Oshkosh this Saturday. These national-ranked Division III football powers kick off at 1 p.m. Arrive early for a great game day experience as it's Family Fest in Whitewater. Tickets are available at uwwsports.com. Watch national championship-level college football this Saturday at Perkins Stadium when the Warhawks welcome in the Titans at 1 p.m. for a huge conference matchup. Get tickets at uwwsports.com. Warhawk football, powered by tradition.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Want that mirror finish on your car? You need Z-Gloss by Z-Bart. Z-Gloss is a 3-layer ceramic coating that not only gives your car that mirror finish, it protects it from everything that Mother Nature can throw at it. Visit zbart.com for more information.
After going down by 4 touchdowns early in Sunday's game to the Vikings, Jordan Love's first game back from injury at quarterback turned into an air attack. However, his 4-touchdown, 3-interception performance only brought the team back so far. The Pack falling 31-29 at Lambeau Field. And afterwards, head coach Matt LaFleur had a simple message.
This is a humbling league at times, and credit to them. They did more than we did to win the game, and we got to bounce back from it. We got to learn from it and get better.
The Packers look to get back in the win column as they take on the 1-win Rams in LA on Sunday afternoon.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Wilde and Tausch is presented by Tito's Handmade Vodka, America's original craft vodka produced in Austin, Texas, and naturally gluten-free. Tito's Handmade Vodka.
Roll by Bulaga, our famous friend. Bryan, fix the pass rush. Tell us how.
Yeah, if it was that easy, they'd already be doing it. Listen, there's a combination of factors that you could always look to that why is the pass rush not working, right? Like, or why aren't we getting home, or why aren't we getting sacks or pressures or things like that? I'll always go to the most simple thing, right? Like, and I'll always start here, and then you can get into other factors. The simple thing is guys need to win one-on-one matchups. And when you look at as a whole, right, if you look at our D-line, the vocal points of our D-line are Kenny and Rashawn. So if you look at any six-man protection that happens against the Green Bay Packers, which is the standard protection, either it's jet or whatever it may be, the center's most likely going to slide to Kenny, and there's going to be a double on Kenny. And then there's a good chance that a tight end or a back will release out to Rashawn Gary's side and provide aid for the tackle. Even if it's not a chip, it's body presence that Rashawn has to change his rush pattern, which it's not a double team, but it could be a chip. It could just be body presence, and that changes the pass rush. So that leaves 2 guys that are in one-on-one matchups throughout a defensive line and any given play, whether that's Wyatt, whether that's Preston, whether that's Van Ness, or whoever it may be. They need to win at a higher rate in one-on-one matchups. I'm not saying that Kenny's getting double-teamed every single play. I'm not saying Rashawn's getting double-teamed every single play. But if you look at any standard passing down, that's probably what's happening. But even with that being said, I still think Kenny and Rashawn need to win more. They need to win more. They are the 2 guys on our D-line that you expect a ton out of. And like the thing is, like, Kenny played a decent game. Like, I'm not saying that Kenny played bad. I think Rashawn, he went against O'Neal, who's a really good right tackle. But we can't be saying that, like, oh, just because you played a good offensive tackle doesn't mean you shouldn't be winning. I mean, obviously the O-lineman, we look at it as, hey, it doesn't matter who we're going against. We need to beat them every single play. It's the same for the D lineman. Just because you're going against a good offensive tackle doesn't mean you can't win. So there needs to be more one-on-one production throughout our entire D line. Now, to their credit, there are some times that, especially you look over early in the season, there's not a bunch of deep developing routes. I mean, these quarterbacks are doing a good job getting the ball out on time. And I know Rob said on Monday, the ESPN stat that, which kind of contradicts what I'm saying, but watching it and seeing the routes that are getting developed, that I think Green Bay is dead last from the ESPN stat of time to throw for the quarterback in the pocket. I think it's right around 3 seconds, which is a long time in the NFL. Like, that's a long time to be able to sit back in the pocket and throw the football. So, like, there's a lot of different factors that are going on with why we're not getting home, so to speak, and pressuring the quarterback. But then what Rob also said within that same ESPN statistics or like breakdown of like we're top 10 in pressuring the quarterback. So like I don't understand the metrics and the breakdowns and the statistics of everything because it doesn't make a bunch of sense to me. I just look at it that guys aren't being productive enough in one-on-one matchups and they need to start being more productive. Like I can't really get into it more than that. Like, especially when you expect your D-line to, well, this way this defense is to rush 4.
Right.
You need to win in one-on-ones. You need to win in one-on-one matchups. And when you're only rushing 4, there's a good chance 1 or 2 guys are going to be double-teamed often. And it's on the other 2 guys to get home and be disruptive. And I don't know if that means Green Bay needs to start running more stunts to free guys up. That could be something that maybe they start looking into a little bit more and start trying to free up Rashawn and free up Kenny by running stunts and things like that. But to me, it's individual one-on-one matchups. And that's about as easy as I can explain it because, like, it's certainly not because the guys aren't good enough. Like, that's really not what it is. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say, like, we don't have good enough pass rushers. I think we do got good pass rushers. I really do. But the production just isn't there right now. And that's simply down to one-on-one matchups and how these guys are winning against good linemen. Because, like, besides Tennessee, we've played some good offensive lines this year. Like, if you look at the Colts, if you look at Philly, and you look at Minnesota, these are good offensive lines. So, like, these guys need to figure out plans against good offensive linemen and figure out a plan to beat them one-on-one often. And the way the defense is set up, those are the positions they're put in. One-on-one matchups all the time. And they got to be better at producing in those situations.
So, Blue, I mean, what Jason really wants to ask you, because we've had this argument for a couple of years. Rashawn Gary, is he not come on what we all hoped? They paid him big money. I thought before his knee injury he was an elite pass rusher, strong, was able to get home. And he has, that's what this is coming down. That is the narrative this week. Jason's going to be writing about it, I feel fairly confident. Where do you put Rashawn Gary in the pantheon of pass rushers in this league right now?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think he's a good pass rusher, and obviously before the knee injury, I think he was up there, a very elite level pass rusher. And I think since the knee injury, it's taken him some time to regain that form. And I'm not saying he can't get there, but like if you look at like, and I'm not saying he's never going to get he's never going to be the same guy. That's not true. I don't feel that way. But if we're just looking at production, right? Like, and I'll cut it as simple as possible. Like production, sacks, pressures. Yeah, those are down since the knee injury. And like, I get he was slowly worked back and things like I get all that, but like, there's got to be something to him coming back from the injury, and it's taking him a little more time to get back to where he was as a pass rusher. And I still think he's a really good pass rusher. I really do. I think he's going to get there, but it's just taking time. And I get people are impatient about it, and I get they paid him a bunch of money. I understand that, but like I still think he's a a high-level pass rusher, and it's just going to take some time for him to get back in that form. I don't have a timeline for it. I certainly don't have that type of crystal ball, but he certainly has the attributes and skills necessary to get him back to that. It's just a matter of when is it going to come. I don't know. I hope it's next week, and we just see a guy go on a tear for the rest of the season. But I rate him highly. I think he's really good. It's just it has to just click, and it just hasn't yet.
All right, so I know Tausch has more questions. I just want to add this to the conversation. I don't want this to turn into a Joe Flacco, is he elite conversation. But I am a stickler for words. Obviously, 2019 and 2020 was kind of stuck behind the Smith brothers, so he didn't get a whole lot of opportunities. In 2021, he had 53 quarterback pressures, according to Pro Football Focus. That was fifth among linebackers. He had 28 quarterback hits. That was seventh, okay? In 2022, before he was injured, he had 27 pressures in the first 9 games. That had him ninth among linebackers.
Elite.
Okay. No. Yeah, I think you got to be top 2 or 3.
Top 10's elite. Top 10's elite, my friend.
Would you rather have Max Crosby or Rashawn Gary? Would you rather have Micah Parsons than Rashawn Gary? We can say he's very good. We could say, I mean, look, you guys help me. You both tore ACLs twice. Are we still able to use that as an explanation for him not? I mean, there's a clip that was on social media, and I know people cherry pick stuff, but he gets stoned by a tight end. That's not a great look. Fair? For a $96 million pass rusher. That's all. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm saying he's not elite. That's all I've ever argued. I'm done.
Well, I would say right now, you're correct. He's not performing at an elite level. Again, I look at pass rushing like very cut and dry, right? Like I don't look at it like other positions where there's a lot of other factors going on, like D linemen, especially in this scheme, like they go get the quarterback. Like I look at this defense now, how I look when I watch the 49ers, how when I watched the old Seattle film that we like, and the Jets, like how those D linemen play is how I judge our D linemen, because like their job is to get sacks and put pressure on the quarterback. And right now he's not at or playing at an elite level. Like that, if that's what we're going at. Do I think before, like obviously before this knee injury, like those stats that you read off, those are elite level stats, like pressuring quarterbacks and kind of the pace he was on before he tore that knee. That's like elite level type statistics. And that's a guy that when you play him, you are on alert. Like you're on full notice. This is the type of guy we're going against. He can cause major issues throughout a game and wreck a game. And yeah, he hasn't gotten back to that. Like, and again, like I'm not saying he can't or he won't, because I still think that guy is who we have. I don't think that the knee issue has impacted him that he can't get there, right? Like unless. Like, listen, I don't know the guy's body. I don't know his knee. Right. I don't know how he feels. I don't know any of that. Like, I have no idea. But, like, based on him being readily available for games and healthy and playing a bunch of snaps, I can only assume that he feels good. Now, as good as you can feel once you get into an NFL season, I mean, that's, that's all par for the course. But I have to assume that his knee is fine. Like, it feels good. It feels strong. He feels good on it. So all I can, like, base all this on is that he just hasn't found that stride yet again, and he hasn't found kind of his go-to moves yet, or found that rhythm that pass rushers get in as they go throughout a season. Like they get in and you see it on tape when you're going against high-level guys. Like they get into a rhythm of the game and what they go to, and then how they set things up and what they go back to, and like their bread and butter. And like you watch Rashawn right now. on tape, and he just hasn't found that yet. Like he seems like his rush plan is a little sporadic. And when you're a pass rusher and you have a sporadic rush plan, that means you're guessing what the O-lineman's going to do, and you don't have a plan. And the lineman or the tackle in this scenario is dictating the rush, and that's what we love. I love when I can dictate a rush. How I set and what I do essentially tells that D lineman what he can do. I win. I win in the first 3 kicks. It's when these D linemen, you may have a plan, and he's got a plan to counteract that immediately.
Punch in the face.
Our life. That makes our life
Tyson.
hell. And he's currently not doing that to offensive tackles right now. So once
Blue,
he starts,
would you say you remember, guys? I mean, with Julius Peppers, we slid a protection. It went from 2-3 jet to 2-3 pep. All right, Pep's here. We're sliding this way. And Cliffy would still ask to slide the protection.
Oh yeah,
the other way. That's just how that always went.
Even if he was on my side, Cliff still wanted that protection slid there, just in case he runs a giant pirate stunt. Hey, what if he does?
You gotta slide the Cliffy. Hey, let's slide it over here. But the question is Rashawn Gary a bullseye guy? Bullseye guys we gotta account for him. Troy Polamalu, bullseye guy. Ed Reed, bullseye guy. Julius Peppers, bullseye guy. I don't think Rashawn Gary's a bullseye guy as we sit here right now.
As we sit here right now, I don't think so. I think offensive linemen, when they play him, they are very aware of what he's capable of. But I think if you look at it from an offensive coordinator perspective and game planning, they're not going, we need to make sure we're accounting for him every single play no matter what we do. Because he hasn't shown it on tape that he is that guy yet this season, right? Again, I want to be as cut and dry with this as I can because it's only based on production, right? That's really it with pass rushers. It's a production-based gig. Are you pressuring the quarterback? Are you getting hits? Are you getting sacks? If the answer is no, then offensive coordinators in this league don't have time to make a game plan around a guy that's not doing that, right? And that's just as honest as I can be. And right now, Rashawn's not doing that. And again, do I think that he can still be that guy? Yes, I do. Because I look at his quickness, his power, his get off, the moves that I know he can do, especially before the injury. If he can get back in that rhythm, he will be a guy that offenses go, we have to have a plan for him. And I get the patience with fans runs thin. I get it. He makes a lot of money. The production, I understand that, and I understand the frustration with it, but it takes some time for pass rushers to find that
He's
rhythm.
In his sixth year.
This is a good week to get right. This is a good week get right.
Yeah, I agree. It's on a fast.
Jason's down on Rashawn Gary. There's no doubt about that.
I'm not down on him, and I know Brian's talking about getting in a rhythm during this season.
Saying right, you keep yelling it.
But well, I wouldn't say I was yelling, but the idea, my issue is that when you pay him elite money, you always talk about the expectation game. He's a 12th overall pick. We're using the word elite, and he's never had a double-digit sack season even. I know that's not the only measure for quarterback pressures and everything else. I'm just saying, I think, and look, I don't want to write him. I'm not writing him off either. And he could have a 3-sack game against the Rams. And then that'll shut us all up, and then people that say that I was too critical of him will say, see? But the bottom line is that he is not a difference maker right now. And they need him. If there was ever a game that they needed him to be a difference maker, it was Sunday when they had Eric Stokes, Corey Ballantyne, and Keyshawn Nixon trying to cover Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. They trust Valentine more than they trust Stokes. Obviously, they trust Jair. He's their shutdown guy. They didn't have either one. They needed to be able to get home with 4, and they didn't. The only 2 sacks they had were on blitzes. And if you want, it's as Jeff Hafley said to us, it's simple math. If you can get after them with 4 rushers, you've got an extra guy in coverage. If you have to blitz, you don't. And you needed an extra guy in coverage against those guys. Tausch, you got the last question, so we can let Bryan go.
No, it is time. I just think this weekend versus a team that is down a bunch of tackles. I don't know if Havenstein is back playing, but they are down. But their wideouts are down. This needs to be one of those games that gets this narrative, because you know how this goes, Blue. The narrative, if your O-line gives up a bunch of sacks, that next week everybody's a little bit more bowed up, because the last thing you want to be is the weak link on a team, and you don't want to be viewed. You want to change the perception. This game this weekend needs to be a perception changer for that group up front, and I think Rashawn Gary is kind of the poster child for that.
Yeah, they need to have a big game. There should be no reason why this doesn't look like that Titans game from a D-line standpoint. There's no reason. And listen, I'm an O-line sympathizer. That's what I am. I mean, at the end of the day, but there's nobody on that Rams offensive line that should be consistently able to block our guys in one-on-one situations. There just isn't. I get Havenstein. I got a lot of respect for him. He's played a long time. He's a good right tackle, but I don't know if he's healthy or not. I have no idea, right? I saw that he missed a couple games. I don't know if he's back yet. Havenstein's a good tackle. But as much as I like him as a tackle, I still think Rashawn Gary should be able to beat him at a high clip. Not because I think Havenstein's bad, but he hasn't played a lot of ball this year. He's obviously nursing an injury. Rashawn should be able to go at him. I mean, if I had to take a guess, there's going to be a lot of Packers fans in this stadium. There always is out in LA for some reason.
Crowd noise.
It's a very fast track, which benefits these guys, which benefits the D line. This should be a very, very good game for our defensive line. They should be ready to go for this one, and I expect them to. I really do. I expect them to. But hey, you got to put it on the field. You got to put it on tape.
Amen.
You got to show that this is the group that you are. So while I expect it, we got to see it. And that kind of speaks to Jason's point, that what he's been saying, got a high draft pick, got paid a bunch of money. The results have to be there. And it's not saying that he can't do it or won't be there, but it's got it. It has to start showing up. And listen, there's probably nobody that knows that more than him. And for the little I know, Rashawn,
he's going to hear it all week.
With him.
Wildy, Domofsky, everybody.
I'm just saying, he has high expectations for himself, and the time I got to spend with him, he has high expectation for himself, and he believes in himself. So there's no one putting more pressure on himself than him, which sometimes is a negative because you're pressing too much. But I think he knows very well that he needs to be the bell cow of this D line, and he needs to put up big numbers for this team to succeed defensively. So he knows it, and I think he's going to have a good week this week. I really do.
I hope so, too, because then we can talk about something else next Wednesday when I see you. Bryan, you're the best. We never have you not live up to our expectations. Thanks for all the extra time. We kept you way longer. Again, just carve out the time. It's just going to happen. We can't help ourselves. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah. All right, guys, take care.
The 10:19 hour starts in 2 minutes. Stick around. It's Wildy and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wildy and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Looking for a totally rad flavor adventure, brochachos? Look no further than Surfer Boy Pizza, as seen in Stranger Things. Each mouth-watering variety contains rich tomato sauce, delicious mozzarella cheese, and a gnarly range of toppings. The crust is crispy on the outside and airy on the inside. You'll think it was hand-tossed by the Surfer Boy Pizza dudes themselves. Look for it in the freezer aisle at your local store and buckle up your taste buds with Surfer Boy Pizza.
Hey, this this is the Fat Jack, and we're heading into October. Are you ready to make some money betting on sports? Go to FatJackSports.com. Basketball season starts at the end of the month. Players, props, soccer, and of course college and the NFL. Profit coming your way through a personal portal and emailed to you each day. Consistent winning plays that are then posted and documented at FatJackSports.com. Less than $100 a week for longer packages to actually build profit betting on sports. Go to FatJackSports.com and win.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
You expect Fleet Farm to have everything you need for everyday life. Well, expect everything at the best prices guaranteed, too. Automotive, pets, birding, hunting, farming, snacking, you name it. All your everyday essentials, all at the best prices guaranteed. And if you happen to find a lower price elsewhere, we'll match it. Any day, every day. Fleet Farm's got everything you need for everyday life at the best prices guaranteed.
Marquette Hall of Famer Tony Smith here. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wildy and Tausch begins now. We'll play trivia next. Thanks to Bryan Bulaga. We always love keeping him for a really long time. All right, let's just put a bow on the Rashawn Gary conversation here because I don't want to be misrepresented.
Are we giving Kenny Clark a pass?
I think defensive tackles have a different expectation, right?
Devontae Wyatt's been getting a lot of pressures.
I think he's been criticized too. I mean, if you read your Wisconsin State Journal this morning, I singled them both out.
I lost my subscription to that. I haven't been able to keep up.
I'm so supportive of all the work that you do. I'm listening on the Varsity app during games I'm watching on TV.
Reading your
Can't
stuff.
just bring yourself to pay $1. All right.
In fairness, Varsity app doesn't cost anything.
Yeah, but it requires more effort to sync it up with your television so you can listen to your boy call the game. And, of course, my boy.
It's your boy.
Is Matt LePay. All right, so just help. I want to play trivia next. You're going to tell us about Fort Trivia. I just want to know, am I being too harsh on him? Because I'm not writing him off. I'm not saying that he sucks. I'm not saying that. I'm saying he's not elite.
You're saying he's been disappointing.
He hasn't been good enough. Yeah. I think through 4 games, if you are elite, you have more than the one sack where Lane Johnson stopped on the play. That's all. Doesn't mean you're terrible. I'm not saying he's Cletus Hunt. I'm saying that for a guy to whom much is given,
through 6 years. Hold up. Better career through 6 years. A.J. Hawk or Rashawn Gary?
That's apples to oranges.
It's top 12 picks, expectation game. Whose career would you rather have through 6 years?
A.J. Hawks.
Who's been more impactful? Who's given more? Who's produced more? Because everybody rips A.J. all the time.
Yeah, he was a top 5 pick.
They shouldn't.
Which is why he gets even more
it's 7
criticism.
picks later, so top 12 is still a pretty high pick.
It is, no doubt. Better career Nick Perry.
More impactful Packer career. Rashawn Gary, A.J. Hawk through 6 years.
Let me look into A.J. Hawk's numbers if he's got any splash plays.
You know the answer is A.J. Hawk. You know it.
Okay, so then what are we talking? Then what are we talking about here?
I'm asking you. I think it's AJ.
Then you have your answer, right?
But I don't think y'all don't give A.J. Hawk enough love. I do.
Right, but you can't answer that way and then claim a guy's elite. You can't.
Rashawn Gary injuries have hurt him, but yes, he has not been since the day we talked, which was about his eliteness, which is pre-injury. It's been a while.
Yep, it was.
He has not rebounded and been as good as he was leading into that injury. He was on that cusp. His violence with his physicality and what he was doing. He has not been as good since then. That's a fair statement to make, and that's not ripping him. It's just the reality of what we're seeing. He's still physical. I don't know if he's been able to make those counters off of his physicality as well as we'd hoped. That's how you become elite. As that being a big, strong dude that can bull rush people is an important quality. Mm-hmm. LVN has that. But if he wants to take the next step, he's got to get slippery. He's got to have a counter to that power. And I'm not sure. I think Rashawn Gary, I don't remember what game it was. I think it was the playoff game against the Niners. He ate old boy's lunch. Their right tackle. He was physically just they had to start chipping and doing those things. That's what we're looking for. And Minnesota didn't have to do that to that degree. I think he is going to get the red blank this week because I think he's going to hear the chatter is out there. And I know he's on social media because I follow him, and he puts that cheese on everything, which is a catchy little thing that he does. I like that.
Clever, yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, if you put too much cheese on everything, then you end up with a higher BMI than you'd like, and then you're Fortria eligible.
A lot of Fortria eligibility, and if you're looking for cash, head over to FortriaClinicalTrials.com. We talk a lot about big bodies. We talk a lot about but they all have all kinds of different studies for different timelines, different money that you can earn. And today we're going to talk about women that are currently breastfeeding, ages 18 to 45, body mass index of 18 to 35. Stop smirking. This is body mass index 18 to 35. 1 stay, 5 nights, 5 follow-ups, a phoner. $10,125 for your time and participation if you refer a friend. Get another $500. Also, if you're not breastfeeding, you're a healthy adult, age 18 to 60, BMI 18 to 32. That study, 1 stay, 14 nights, 11 follow-ups, $13,006 for your time and participation. Head over to FortriaClinicalTrials.com. That's Fortria, Fortrea, ClinicalTrials.com.
All right, let's play some trivia before we get to Homer. Jesse, what's the category? What caller you want?
Wisconsin Geography Wednesday with a Brewers twist.
Ooh, I'm intrigued.
Telling a story or not?
Not quite a story, but just some Brewers flavor for Wisconsin Geography. 14 of the teams that have won Game 1 have gone on to win the series in the wild card round since 2020, so let's do caller 14.
I was going to say take caller 2, hoping you're like the 2 teams that did
one of the outliers.
Come back. All right, caller 14, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. We will play next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. New manager.
We're going to band together and we'll have these guys ready to compete.
New team.
Churiar grand slam.
Same old crew.
Williams, the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. By William Contreras. Another 3-run home run for Willie Adames.
It's playoff baseball season.
Believe that there's a reason this group ended up first place, wire to wire.
The hunt for Brew October on 94.5 ESPN is sponsored by Delta Dental.
It's a bully that will not let up until you do something about it. And the worst part is that the bullying happens when you're at your most vulnerable. You might as well have your hands tied behind your back while that bully puts one hand over your mouth and pinches your nose with the other. He'll let up, let you catch your breath, and then he'll do it again. Sleep apnea is a bully. Not long ago, we heard our friend John tell you about how his bully was stopping his breathing in his sleep over 145 times an hour. Think about what that can do to your body's organs. It's no wonder that the snowball effects of long-term obstructive sleep apnea are heart disease, stroke, even depression and anxiety. But this problem is solvable, and we have solutions, and you'll be surprised at how simple they are.
To date, Advent has solved over 40,000 breathing triangle problems. It's time to put that bully in his place. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows. When you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Results may vary.
With 18 unforgettable holes on 250 acres of natural private land, The Bog provides the ultimate golf experience. To book your next tee time, call 262-284-7075 or visit golfthebog.com. Enjoy golf. Enjoy The Bog.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde letting you know that Tausch and I are going to be out at Steinhafels in Waukesha on Friday doing our show live. Steinhafels is celebrating its 90th anniversary with its biggest, best brands, best prices sale. Take 10% off all their best brands of sofas, bedroom, and dining, including special orders. And with Steinhafels' 18-month 0% interest financing, your new room is even more affordable. So stop by and say hi this Friday as we broadcast from Steinhafels in Waukesha, right off I-94 on Highway F.
So what's better than a Packers win? Celebrating a Packers win behind the wheel of a newly redesigned 2024 Chevy Traverse C71. Yeah, that's better. And right now at Quick Trip, for every $1 you spend with Quick Rewards, you'll earn a Fan Zone point to spend in the Packers Zone. Then, with your Quick Rewards app, spend points for your chance to win prizes throughout the season, like a Chevy Traverse C71. Kick off your winning season with Quick Trip and your Green Bay Packers. See QuickTrip.com/fanzone for details.
For your fellow fanatics and your number one fans. For your game day compatriots and your everyday companions. For your personal cheerleaders and your personal heroes. For the reasons you smile, get covered with dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of Wisconsin and Delta Vision. Learn more at deltadentalwi.com today.
Your current car, soon to be your old car. A new car? Better start looking. But you've got this, just like Associated Bank's got you with free credit score and score monitoring on most new consumer checking accounts. Because when you know you need to make a big purchase, knowing your credit score puts you in the driver's seat. You've got this with free credit monitor from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Guys, let's be honest. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men in Oak Creek on Howell Road, just south of Putes Road. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week, even Sundays. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Time for trivia. Let's welcome in our contestant, and he is a first-time contestant. Easy for me to say. It is Zach on the road between Beaver Dam and Waupun. So we better be quick because that's not that long of a distance. Zach, good morning. How are you?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Have you listened to the Dam Sports Show with Corey and Wally, and I think maybe Wade's going to be on there today? Have you tuned in on our ESPN Beaver Dam affiliate yet?
I have not, no.
All right, every day at 4. And I join them on Wednesdays and Fridays, if that either that sweetens the pot or that makes you even less interested in listening. I'm not sure which.
That's a good show those guys have going up there.
Yes, I'm really excited that we're doing that. Yeah. All right, Zach, let's get to your questions, buddy, as I don't know where you're headed, but I don't want you to spend too much time on the phone with us. Question number 1 in Wisconsin Geography Wednesday trivia is this. Oh, this is a good one. In conjunction with the name change of the stadium occurring in 2021, the road formerly known as Miller Park Way in the village of West Milwaukee was changed to which of these names? Is it Brewers Boulevard, Selig Street, or Postseason Way? Because of all the exits you can choose from.
Brewers Boulevard, but it's still Miller Parkway in my heart.
Yeah, it's an adjustment. It's kind of like when they turned Gross Avenue into Mike Holmgren Way. A lot of people had to change their addresses. All right, 1 for 1. Question 2 is this. Latitudinally, which base at American Family Field is located farthest north?
I love this question.
Farthest north. Is it first base, second base, or third base?
Gotta be third base, right?
Tausch, you want to guess?
I don't know. Is it?
I think it's second base.
One of you is right.
You think the stadium points north?
I don't know.
Stadium
I guess.
points south, I think, right?
Indeed it does. Kind of a southeasterly tilt to it.
That might be my favorite latitudinally question we've ever done.
It wouldn't be my favorite if our contestant had gotten it wrong. But because Zach got it right, I'm okay with it. All right, question 3, Zach. In which Wisconsin city was former Brewers catcher and current TV analyst Vinny Rottino born and raised? Is Vinny from Heartland, Racine, or La Crosse?
Oh boy. Racine.
Tausch?
I'm going to say Heartland.
One of you's right. And it's not Tausch.
Atta babe, Zach. All right.
Zach, what a debut. Now the Brewers can only hope that they're as good in Game 2 as you were in trivia. You got all 3 right. You got 4 entries into Friday's drawing. Thanks for playing. Drive safely, buddy. We appreciate you.
Thanks. Love you guys.
All right, love you guys.
It's amazing how that love you guys has really caught on. It's pretty remarkable. That's trivia for us. Quickly, Tausch. If the trivia question was, what beer with the blue mountains on the side of the can does Tausch love most? I don't think anybody would get that one wrong.
It's Coors Light brewed with that 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filtered. And it's cold packaged, so it's made to chill. And make sure those mountains are blue on those cold activated bottles and cans. That's when you know it is chilled to perfection. That's why it is always Coors Light in my hand when I need a moment to chill. Celebrate responsibly, Coors Brewing Company. Golden, Colorado.
I know this is going to come as a surprise to you, but Uncle Homer said something a little bit crazy on Twitter. We'll tell you what it was when he joins us next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from ESPN Wisconsin's Kyle Bruston Nortman. I love this time of year. Playoff baseball, the start of hoop season, and of course, football. I'm all about watching the action on the gridiron with a carbless in my hand. Premium, ready-to-drink cocktails with no malt, no carbs, and no sugar. Vodka cocktail flavors like cranberry, black raspberry, and lemon lime, and classic cocktail flavors like Paloma or Margarita. Find Carbless at your local grocer and enjoy game day. Carbless. Less is more.
They say seeing is believing, and when you see what's inside at American Place Casino, you better believe you're gonna love it. Because when it comes to amazing gaming, we're a real game changer. With the most exciting of table games like blackjack, craps, and roulette, the newest slots, a sportsbook, restaurants, bars, and more. So if you're ready for excitement, we'll see you soon. American Place Casino. Change the game.
Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Want that mirror finish on your car? You need Z-Gloss by Z-Bart. Z-Gloss is a 3-layer ceramic coating that not only gives your car that mirror finish, it protects it from everything that Mother Nature can throw at it. Visit zbart.com for more information.
After going down by 4 touchdowns early in Sunday's game to the Vikings, Jordan Love's first game back from injury at quarterback turned into an air attack. However, his 4-touchdown, 3-interception performance only brought the team back so far. The Pack falling 31-29 at Lambeau Field. And afterwards, head coach Matt LaFleur had a simple message.
This is a humbling league at times, and credit to them. They did more than we did to win the game, and we got to bounce back from it. We got to learn from it and get better.
The Packers look to get back in the win column as they take on the 1-win Rams in L.A. on Sunday afternoon.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats.
Now through Wednesday, save on 15 to 30-ounce selected varieties Hellmann's mayonnaise, $5.49. 7 to 16-ounce selected varieties Barilla pasta, 2 for $3. 128-ounce selected varieties Kemp's Pale, $6.99. 1 pound selected varieties Land O'Lakes butter, $4.99.
I am starving.
Oh, no. Never walk into a Century when you're hungry.
Unless it's free sample day. Ooh. Oh, pizza, yes. I'd love to try that one.
My husband thinks he can make a meal out of grocery store samples.
Need to wash this down. I think I see someone handing out samples in the liquor department.
Geez, can we focus on our list?
What's this?
It says you can win 2 tickets to Green Bay's home game against San Francisco November 24th.
Or autographed footballs, or a 4-pack of Green Bay Hall of Fame tickets.
You have to enter through Century's Facebook or Instagram.
I'll be entering this on my phone in the deli next to that cheese sample station.
I'm shopping at Century alone next time.
Enter by November 6th.
After a crash with a semi-truck, everything can change instantly. At Gruber Law Offices, we have the knowledge and experience to make sure you're protected. And we're here to help whenever you need us. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
The Crusaders are rolling.
4th and 2, Tobias Lopez takes the handoff, cuts through the middle. Not only the first down, he's into the end zone for his 3rd touchdown of the night.
On Friday night, Catholic Memorial is back on the road to take on New Berlin Eisenhower. Crusaders football is presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, R&R Insurance, Home Sealed Exteriors, and DM Accounting and Consulting Service. Tune into the action Friday night starting at 6:30 on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, or at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Lock in for October. Brewers postseason tickets are on sale now. Clear your schedule, claim your spot, and be here for a Brewers postseason run you don't want to miss at brewers.com/postseason.
Uncle Homer on Wilde and Tausch is brought to you by Johnson & Sons Paving. Potholes are a pain when they pop up in your asphalt. Johnson & Sons Paving can patch or replace the whole lot. Book an appointment now at johnsonsonspaving.com.
Whatever you do, make sure you do it right. Whatever you do, make sure you do it right. You're making love or starting the schoolyard fight. Make sure you do it right.
Make sure you do it right. That's what Homer does every weekday from 5 to 6 on the Homer Hour. Of course, we've got Marquette men's basketball season right around the corner. I think college basketball has started practicing. So we'll see where the Badgers and Golden Eagles and Phoenix and Panthers all wind up this season. And, of course,
Homer, who's going to have a better year, Marquette or Wisconsin?
Marquette.
By a lot?
No, as long as Shock is the coach, you make the tournament, flip a coin, let's see what you do in the tournament.
Okay.
It's fair.
Remember.
Wake me in March, some would say.
Some might.
Gottlieb.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how they do. He's still doing the show, and he invited me to come to the game, one of his games, and said to give me good tickets. So you know what that means.
If they're free, it's for you.
That's correct.
If you have free tickets to tonight's Brewers Game 2 against the Mets and you go, are you going expecting a win?
Yes, I am. This is the definition of this team is they figure a way. They figure out a way. Now, they didn't yesterday. It was a horrible game, but I'm I will be crushed if they lose this game because it will make the entire season easy to forget, and it shouldn't be forgotten. It's been a special year with a special group. But you get swept in the first round, then it's like it's all a tease. It all means nothing. It'll be bad enough if they lose this series in 3, but if they get swept, and the problem is the Mets are really good. It's not like the Brewers are that much better. It's a flip of a coin in terms of the talent of the two teams. You might even give the edge to the Mets, but the Brewers have all year found a way to win. I'll be devastated if they lose tonight because it will mean no one's going to remember what was really a great year. Yeah, devastated because you can't remember anything. Might as well just throw the regular season away. Doesn't mean anything. Nothing. You can't think of all the great parts about it because they get swept in the first round.
At home.
You got to at least win a game, and then the way this team has been all year, they'll find a way and they'll win the series in 3. But that's just regular season talk. I can't think of a game for any team in which I felt I want them to win so badly. But we know what that's worth. By the way, I want to get to Tausch's idea about teams picking who they play.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. And what you have to hope for is the league will never have the guts to do it. But just like the kickoff, if another league does it and they see how much it works, then they'll steal it. So is Rock's league still around? I mean, there's another league, right? There's one other. They were using the kickoff.
The UFL.
Yeah, which, by the way, the NFL is so idiotic. Why they can't do it now? Just change it to 35. If you get the ball at the 35, they'll start kicking off and make them run back.
Or just go back to the old way. Go back to the old way. There's nothing wrong with it.
No, too many injuries. You can't.
Why?
Because the speed of players running is – no, this system was fine. Just give it to them at the 35 or 40 if you kick it into the end zone. Then no one will do it, and you will have what you want. Kickoff returns with less speed of players running. This is like kindergarten stuff. But I don't know why they won't change it now. There are fewer kickoffs this year, I would think, than last year, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know that, but it
isn't working, but all you have to do is change it to the 35 or the 40, and everybody will then make the team and want the team to return. It's I don't get it. It's like
I don't. Anyway. It was a problem that didn't need fixing. They got rid of the kickoff. They want to get rid of it completely, and now they're trying to go back on their initial thought of, well, it's a dangerous play, but we can make it safer. It's a dangerous play. It's still being touched back all the time. I think it was an excuse to just get the ball up further and further so that there's more scoring. So if that's what you want to do, just say, here, take the ball at the 35, let's go. And we stop with the commercial breaks, everything else. Just drop the ball.
They want the kickoff to be part of the game. They thought this would solve it. Yes, they did.
Jason.
They do.
They do.
They got rid of it. They were trying because all these injuries, and you heard Troy Vincent say 5 years ago they're going to get rid of the kickoff. You heard him.
Somebody
trust what they're saying.
Someone came up with a way.
It's not working. That same league doesn't even do it anymore.
If they moved it to the 35, if you kicked it into the end zone, it would work. That's the frustration. Like if somebody is eating soup with a fork, you say, "Excuse me, maybe you should try a spoon." The problem isn't and they just keep using the fork.
That's pretty good. That's almost as good as the cough medicine.
It's really good, actually.
It's pretty good little analogy.
I love your idea because it gets the fans involved. Picking, yes, a lot of teams want to avoid it, but they won't. And once a league that doesn't care what people, doesn't have an image, they'll try it and they'll go, "Wow, this works." Yes, maybe let the fans decide. There's so many different things you can do, but yes, it gets people involved. It's uncomfortable for the teams. So what? You're in the entertainment business. You nailed it perfectly. And it will not happen unless another league does it, and it works, and then they'll copy it.
All right, Homer, I know you have a golf outing because you're a great young man. You do great things out in the community. You're always giving. So I know we'd have limited time with you today, but you just tweeted this, that the Packers miss Joe Barry. Fact. Capitalized.
Stirring it up.
It's 4 games.
You can't. You have been you wanted Joe Barry. Just wait a second. You wanted, I distinctly remember, we did a pack back when it was called Pack Attack, I think, after the show.
The first game
that was a while ago.
Yeah.
First game, Joe Barry, you said they never should have hired him. Fire him today. And now, 3 years later, you say that we missed Joe Barry. Fact. Explain yourself.
Well, it's just 4 games, but they were last year. They were 10th in the league in points given up. The best year Joe Barry had. This year they're 20th, and they have Xavier McKinney. They have a player better than any player that was on the field last year, and they're 20th. So it hasn't worked. Now it's just 4 games. It may not be that way at the end of the season. But at this point, they're worse defensively with the current defensive coordinator than they were with Joe Barry because you have to add Xavier McKinney to that defense. And we can agree on that.
There's more turnovers. They're not worse.
Well, again, the turnovers only work if you don't give up points.
Jason, is the defense worse than it was last year?
It's not. And they definitely don't miss Joe Barry. But it's only 4 games. He says that in the tweet. He is trying to stir the pot because that's what Homer does.
I'm trying to
say Jason is now. Wait a second. Jason is telling Homer what he thinks. Yes. I love it. Yes. It has all come full circle.
I'm not telling him what he thinks.
Baby.
I'm telling him what he's doing. You chose.
Snap.
Stop. Just stop.
Good. What I want to emphasize is that Xavier McKinney is better than any player Joe Barry had in his time as defensive coordinator.
It doesn't say that in the tweet. Doesn't say that in the tweet. It doesn't even mention Xavier McKinney.
But if that's the case, then Joe Barry has to be recognized. Joe Barry did what he did without Xavier McKinney. Would they have been a better defense with Xavier McKinney? Yes or no? Of course, yes.
They would have been. Yes.
Yeah.
Although
my
Jason
point,
thinks Rudy Ford is just as emphatic.
He was very good, yes. Led them in interceptions last year, Look, you know what you were doing. You could have easily said that points per game.
You better get after Jason like you do me when you think I'm saying what you think.
Here's the tweet for those of you that aren't following along. Points per game. Packers tied for 6th in offense and 20th defensively. So far this season, they miss Joe Barry. Fact. You could say, so far this season, Joe Barry's defenses have been better than Jeff Hafley's. But you chose the phraseology you did because you knew it would get our attention.
No, I'll change the phraseology. Hold on. I'll change the phraseology to what you said.
Fine.
I'll go to that phraseology.
Because here's why. Here's why I'm getting after you.
Homer just backed down.
He did, didn't he? Didn't he?
No, it's not.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Okay.
Big back down.
I mean, Jason, you understand, I have experience handling this. People telling me why I said stuff.
I'm aware.
Yeah, so I'm ready
My
for
point is that you knew that this was a little more lightning roddy than if you said, so far, Jeff Hafley's defense isn't as good as Joe Barry's defense.
If that was the case, Jason, why would I agree to change it the way you asked?
Because you know that you can still make your arguments.
Really good counterpoint.
No, wow. Because then it wouldn't have gotten nearly as the same attention. That's why.
I don't know. What else does Homer think, Jason?
Here's my point because you got to go. They definitely don't miss Joe Barry because they have way better buy-in from their players. And that goes into the final sentence of your tweet of I assume it will change. I do too, and that's because they don't miss Joe Barry. Because they believe in this guy more than they believed in him.
Okay, all right. Now here's my question.
I didn't assume. He said I assumed.
Hold on. Are you better with Joe Barry and Xavier McKinney than you would be?
Your tweet If you don't want people trying to figure out what you're thinking, include the things you're thinking.
I never thought that was an issue. I'm willing to have someone say that's a stupid tweet, but they don't seem to do that. They want to go, I know why you did that. I know why you did that. And it's hard for me to comprehend that.
I know what you're saying about Xavier McKinney because you and I talked about it on your show.
Yeah.
Should have included that in the tweets if you wanted to make that argument. You've got a shotgun start that's about to start. We don't need to argue with you anymore.
Bye. Talk to you
Go
later.
play well. Goodbye.
Thanks for the tausch.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I can't believe that, what I just saw. I can't
They
believe
missed.
Just
Come
like Jack
on.
Buck at the Metrodome with Kirby Puckett hitting a big 3-run homer to advance. I can't believe what I just heard.
That's not where that quote happened.
No, it is.
It is. I don't believe what I just saw is the home run Kirby
I
Puckett
can't
hits in
believe
the
what I
Metro.
just heard.
Wasn't that Kirk Gibson?
No.
Am I wrong? Oh, my God. I'm sorry. I'm going to take a loss on
I'd
that.
like an Jesse. I'd like an apology. You've been a little bit rough on me lately.
I'm sorry.
I'd like
You're
it when
right.
you're dead wrong like that. I'd like an apology.
I apologize. I can't believe what I just saw was the Kirk Gibson home run. I didn't think that was the Minnesota one. I thought that was "We will see you tomorrow night."
Ooh.
Because that's what Joe said in Game 6 when the Cardinals beat the Rangers.
Could we owe him an apology?
Oh, do I have to reissue an apology for demanding an apology? Oh.
One
thing I do know, it's time to talk about my favorite pit stop, and that is Quick Trip. You take a quick trip down memory lane. Was it Jack Buck saying to Kirk Gibson, I can't believe what I just saw? Or to Kirby? I don't know. We'll go down there, but there's a heck of a bake sale going on like Grandma used to make down at Quick Trip. Grab a dozen cookies for $4.99 or a 4-pack of your favorite cookies for just $1.99. Looking for something around breakfast? Well, those big, supple, delicious muffins, just $1.19. The bake sale is perfect for sharing or just treat yourself. And if it's not the sweets at Quick Trip that you're into, well, chicken. I told you about Monday's chicken, $5.99. Today's Wednesday. Bone-in tenders and bone-in chicken. The regular tenders, $9.99 on Wednesday. They are hand-breaded and boneless tenders. They're beautiful. You grab a little buffalo sauce with it. Baby boy. There's more. Can you get 99 cents for a loaf of Quickery white bread? 99 cents, 5-ounce Kitchen Cravings boneless pork loin chop. And don't forget the coffee. Just got a free coffee on Coffee Day at Quick Trip. Download the Quick Rewards app today. Order ahead, earn points. Order all your favorites plus pizza, take-home meals, take care of the payment, and just stop by to pick it all up, or you can get it brought out to you curbside.
Oh. There's still one more segment left in the 10 o'clock hour, and it will be spent with us apologizing to Jesse. Get them both off of YouTube. I've already found them. Jesse takes a victory lap next. It's Wildy and Tausch.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcast for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
They say seeing is believing. And when you see what's inside at American Place Casino, you better believe you're gonna love it. Because when it comes to amazing gaming, we're a real game changer. With the most exciting of table games like blackjack, craps, and roulette, the newest slots, a sports book, restaurants, bars, and more. So if you're ready for excitement, we'll see you soon. American Place Casino. Change the game.
Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
Hey, it's Gabe Neitzel from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. You've heard me talk about the results Mentality has had on my life, but don't just take it from me. Jason has had success too, thanks to Mentality.
My only regret is I didn't do it sooner. Knowing once again I've gotten the treatments done and continuing, I do feel, stuff does hurt a little bit more, but I'm 40, in my 40s, and that's going to happen. But again, the energy levels, it is above and beyond. Again, I'm back in that age where I'm like, this is amazing.
Get started today at lowtusa.com.
It's bird bashing season when you swoop into Potawatomi. Thursdays, you could win up to a wicked 50 grand cash in the Bird Bash Game Show. Just play with your rewards card all October for entries. All Bird Bash entries go towards a December 20th giveaway with a monstrous 300 grand in prizes. Bird Bash makes its bewitching return. Only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Learn more at paysbig.com/birdbash. Must be 21 years old to play.
UW Credit Union presents the Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org. Here's Ashton Rotman with the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
This week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week is Economilwaukee's Cashton Allen. The senior wide receiver putting up a couple of video game scores in the Raccoons' first ever conference win over Arrowhead. Allen's 2 touchdowns total 167 yards. The first coming on a 70-yard catch and run touchdown, followed up by a 97-yard display of quickness and footwork leading to the second touchdown. All part of Economilwaukee's 28-21 win over Arrowhead to stay undefeated on the season. Cashton is also a big piece on the court for the Raccoons. A 6'3" shooting guard, Allen's junior season saw him average over 12 points a game. Congratulations to this week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, two-sport athlete Cashton Allen.
Make plans now for early October football at the Perk when UW Whitewater hosts UW Oshkosh this Saturday. These national-ranked Division III football powers kick off at 1 p.m. Arrive early for a great game day experience as it's Family Fest in Whitewater. Tickets are available at uwwsports.com. Watch national championship-level college football this Saturday at Perkins Stadium when the Warhawks welcome in the Titans at 1 p.m. for a huge conference matchup. Get tickets at uwwsports.com. Warhawk football, powered by tradition.
Guys, let's be honest. We like simple stuff. We like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated and uncompromising, like an award-winning men's grooming experience from Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men in Oak Creek on Howell Avenue, just south of Putes Road. Open 7 days a week, even Sundays. Walk in anytime, and before you know it, our talented stylist will bring you back to a simpler time, a time when you were handsome and clean. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men in Oak Creek on Howell Avenue, just south of Putes Road. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher, and summer is here. But if you want your parking lots and asphalt to be ready for winter, you have to remember the 3 R's from Johnson & Sons Paving. Reseal every 2 to 3 years. Repair when you see signs of cracking or potholes. And replace if there's constant standing water, buckling, or sinking. Don't scare customers or tenants away because of a bad parking lot. Connect with Johnson & Sons today before minor repairs end up being huge headaches. Schedule an appointment at johnsonsonspaving.com.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
I'm so disappointed in myself. I got no problem apologizing to Jesse, saying I was wrong. I think more people in the world need to be able to do that sort of thing. But I know better than this.
I didn't catch your throat clear. Is that?
It was Paula. She's over there. She never admits when she's wrong.
Oh, is she wrong a lot?
No, I wouldn't say she's wrong a lot. I'm saying that when she is wrong, she very, very, very rarely says she was wrong.
Why do people have such a hard time admitting when they're
It's a great question. I don't know.
I think today's generation, too, because everything is here, phony, it's really hard because it's gotcha. You know, people make mistakes, man.
Yeah, like
people
we just
will say
did.
things, and especially when they're doing 15 hours a week.
Grinders.
You know?
And Jesse says 12.
And for Jesse, if you're working 6 hours a week, it ain't easy. So, Jesse, the floor is yours.
I don't think it's a generational thing. I think that's a...
Oh, it is.
I think people of your generation want to make it a generational thing.
I think it's a personality thing. I'm with Jesse on the... I hate to agree with Jesse after I just disagreed with him.
I know someone who gave birth to me who is also not very good at admitting when she was wrong, so...
George! So, speaking of wrong, here is Jack Buck on the call of Kirby Puckett's home run during the 1991 World Series
I can't
to
believe
force
what
a
I just
Game
saw.
7.
Into deep left center from Mitchell, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
What a great call. Kirby.
That is such a great call. Oh, is that the GOAT of calls?
Well, maybe this is the GOAT of calls. Now at the plate, Kirk Gibson in the 1988 World Series against Dennis Eckersley, hobbling up to the plate with the game on the line.
Gibson
Don't throw him a
swings
change.
and a fly ball to deep right field. This is going to be a home run. Unbelievable! A home run for Gibson. And the Dodgers have won the game 5-4. I don't believe what I just saw. I don't believe what I just saw.
Says it twice for good measure.
I don't believe what I just heard. Tausch was wrong, and so was I. I will say this.
Jesse. Hey, Jesse.
Oh, here we go.
You were right. You nailed it. Kudos to Jesse.
What's the other
Well
half
done.
of that? You said Jesse was right. What's the other half
I was
of that
completely
statement?
wrong. Yeah, listen, you guys pinned me. You and retired Navy fella. You guys pinned me as like some obstinate, like, I admit
you're
was
obstinate.
I was completely incorrect about this scenario.
All right.
Completely incorrect.
Now, as a true apology, I am off tomorrow's show, and I want no grief for the entire 3
Was
hours.
there
No way.
just one quick question, Jesse? I know you're big on programming as the head of programming.
I am, yes.
Here at ESPN Madison.
Director.
There is a volleyball game tonight, correct? And a pre- and post-game show?
Yes, there is.
Oh,
It's
okay,
at
okay.
Rutgers. It's an early start. It has no impact on being off tomorrow.
I'm gonna oppo Jack Buck. I can believe what I'm going to see tomorrow. I can believe what I just heard that Jesse is taking off.
Man,
Thursday.
what do you think? What do you think Boog's call is going to be that lives in infamy when the Brewers walk it off on Thursday night to advance?
And the Brewers
That's
win.
the case.
Yep, that's how I envision too.
All right. We need to get to the 11 o'clock hour. I need to remind you, I hope you never have to make the call. I really do. But if you've been seriously injured, there is only one call to make, and it's to Gruber offices. One call, that's all. 414-276-6666. 414-276-6666. Go to the website, find out the history of the firm, all the great lawyers that are there, everything David and his team at Gruber offices do in our communities. Gruber offices, one call. That's all. The 11 o'clock hour kicks in 2 minutes. So stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Ready to tackle your home improvement project this fall? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. As a 5-time President's Club Award winner, Exterior Pros is not playing around. With flexible financing, it's never been easier to invest in your home without breaking the bank. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation today.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hey, this is ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman here to tell you about QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics is helping people get their life back, and I was able to see that with my own very eyes. I went and checked out the Greenfield location, got my free consultation to have them take a look at my back, and it was unbelievable. All the tools that QC QC Kinetics has in their toolkit to help people get their life back, enhance their joints, and finally get rid of that nagging joint pain. The free consultation I had was a robust diagnosis to help me figure out what the best personal journey was back to health. There are so many things at the cutting edge of cellular treatments that QC Kinetics is utilizing to give countless patients back their lives again. There's already been tens of thousands of satisfied patients all throughout the country, and you could be one too. It's finally time to get your life back and visit QC Kinetics just like I did and get your free consultation. Call them today at 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474.
Gabe Neitzel here. Catch Jen, Gabe, and Chewy mornings 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. We'll get to Power Rankings Wednesday coming up. But Tausch, I wanted to discuss this with you because this is something that I've seen a few comments in the YouTube, ESPN Milwaukee, ESPN Madison channels, and that is the kicking situation. So Rob Domofsky had this reported this yesterday. They brought in 2 kickers for workouts. Now, help people understand what a workout means, because it may not mean anything, right?
Yeah, so you basically, like if you went in on Tuesday as an NFL player's off day, and if you go in to work out or get treatment and whatnot, you would typically see a scout walking through with somewhere between 4 and 6 dudes. And they're dressed in their green and gold, and they're going to be going down to the Hudson Center to work out, and then probably get, if they have medical, they got to see the trainers. You'd occasionally see those guys, and it's not always, oh, this guy got hurt. A lot of times it's somebody was injured. They got to find someone to either replace the practice squad guy that gets elevated, or we need to replace this player because we have a hole in that roster because someone's put on IR or something. So usually every week they bring in 1 or 2 guys, sometimes more, sometimes less. But typically every Tuesday you'd see some folks come floating through.
Wait, they give them gear?
Well, they have to have something to wear. So you're going to wear Green Bay Packers stuff to go through
Do you get to
Green
keep
Bay
it?
Packer workout.
If you do the workout and then they don't sign you, do you still get to keep it and like sell the gear on Poshmark?
The only time I did a workout was with the Chiefs, and I did not keep any of the gear. No. They can wash stuff.
Did they
have
ask for it
functioning
back,
washing
or did
machines.
you just give it back?
I think I just gave it back. I didn't.
Okay.
At that point, I had a good idea I was going to be going back to Green Bay, so I was not going to be rocking a bunch of Chiefs gear.
And we're thankful for it. So yesterday, 2 guys that apparently wore Packers gear to kick some field goals were Chad Ryland, and Jesse, help me out with this pronunciation as the play-by-play guy that you are, Lucas Havrisik?
Havrisik sounds right.
But you don't know.
I mean, if I was Lucas, I would pronounce it Havrisik. Yeah.
I don't believe I can't believe what I just heard.
I can't pronounce that guy's name.
So Chad Ryland was a 4th-round pick last year. Tell me if you are interested in either of these guys, Tausch, replacing Braden Narvison, the Narv dog. Okay? Chad Ryland last year, I did my research on him. He was a 4th-round pick last year by the Patriots. He made 16 of 25 field goal attempts. That would be 64%. And 24 of 25 extra points. He lost his job in camp this summer to Joey Sly. That Sly dog.
Sly.
Beat him out in New England. Lucas, as he will be henceforth known on our show until I get his name.
Can confirm Havrasik.
I got it right?
You did, yeah. Which means so did I.
Well, you were right, Jesse.
I'm on a
It's
heater.
going to be a theme of the show.
Yeah, this is a good day.
Lucas Havrasik entered the league with the Colts, didn't kick there, made his debut with the Rams. Last year, he made 15 of 20 field goal attempts. How you feel about that percentage? That's 75%.
You're going to love what I'm going to say after you get done with all this. So just keep rolling through, and then you're going to love what I have to say.
And then he was 19 of 22 on extra points for the Rams. He was with the Browns in camp, but he was released at the end of the summer. Here endeth your kicker update on Wilde and Tausch.
Yeah, I wonder a couple of things. What was Anders Carlson's kick percentage last year?
Anders Carlson finished last season. Now, and I understand that my guy Rich Bisaccia was trying to make a point. He made like his first 16 kicks last year between field goals and extra points. So he got off kind of like Jesse's had a day today. He was on a heater to start the season. He finished the season, the regular season, 34 of 39 on extra points, 27 of 33 on field goal attempts. So he had six
we take that right now.
missed field goals in the regular season. Now, in the postseason, he was 7 of 8 on extra points and 2 for 3 on field goals. So you got to add that in to the regular season.
Here's where I'm at. We all remember, and Rich Bisaccia remembers this better than anybody, Daniel Carlson with the Minnesota Vikings missed a couple kicks up here in Lambeau. And I believe that was Mike Zimmer.
Mm-hmm.
Axed him. They said, we can't win with this. We have a win-now team. And it turns out they didn't have a win-now team that year.
Also true.
I think they struggled. And Daniel Carlson left, was cut, was picked up by the Las Vegas Raiders, vice versa, Rich Bisaccia. And he has now become, is he still the kicker in Las Vegas?
He is. Last season, Daniel Carlson was 32 for 32 on extra points, 26 of 30 on field goal attempts. Okay. So far this season, where not much is going right for the Las Vegas Raiders, he is 7 of 7 on extra points. He is 7 of 9 on field goal attempts for the season.
So what I am proposing is the rebirth of another Carlson right here in Green Bay. Anders Carlson was someone you drafted. He was pretty good last year until he wasn't. The pressure started mounting as the team got better and better. He did not handle it as well as we hoped. But like his brother, Daniel Carlson, I think Anders now has had a little time. He's reflected. And I think it's time to bring Anders home. I want to see Anders Carlson back here kicking.
The odds of that occurring, you would say, is what?
Well, I mean, our ego's going to get in the way. If they are, then it's not going to happen. But if you check your egos and say, how is where we're at right now, where you don't trust Narvi to make any kick, right now, I think Anders, yes, he missed a kick in a preseason game, and that probably cost him his job. Fair. I think you give him another crack at it. And if it doesn't go well, what's the harm? You can get Narvi back. Nobody's picking up Narvi right now. I can tell you that. So you mix and match, and you try to find that, you try to strike it while it's hot. And Anders right now would be the best available kicker, I do believe. His numbers are better than the guys you just mentioned that are available. There's not some veteran shining star out there that is just ready to come in and be your guy. There's not. Robbie Gould, Mason Crosby, I think they've all moved on. I think they're done. Ryan Longwell is not coming back in to kick. Jan Stenerud ain't coming back in to kick. So you drafted this kid. You went through some growing pains with him last year. You didn't think he was good enough. Fine. Anders certainly, if he gets a call, will be excited to come back.
Is he?
Give him a shot.
Like, how? All right, help us
understand. Does he want to be unemployed?
No.
Does he want to be unemployed?
All right. Beyond the simple having a job is better than not having a job. Obviously, you're right about that. But to your point about setting egos aside, first of all, the Packers would, in a weird way, would have to set aside their ego while also saying, well, we made a mistake. We were wrong to cut him, but we were right. We still believe we were right about him long term when we drafted him, right? It's a weird place to be. But if you've been a player, you just told the story about you going to the Chiefs for a workout, right? Mm-hmm. Now, you wanted to come back here. They needed you to come back here because Alan Barber was not very good. They needed their old T on the right side of the line. Did you have to in any way set your ego aside of these guys?
No.
I was rehabbing from an ACL. They wouldn't even let me in the damn building.
Yeah, listen, if you're gonna, I mean, was I irritated about how that played out? 1,000%.
Okay.
Still hold a little bit of angst about how that all shook out. But I'm also smart enough to know, as I'm playing tennis on a Thursday night in Madison and knowing that I still wanted to play, that this is where I needed to be, if I could. And the fact that maybe things weren't handled the way I would have preferred,
yes,
I certainly wanted to be back and playing. And was I going to let my own personal vibes about how I was treated 9 months prior affect my job status? What, am I, an idiot? No,
you're not
it's
an idiot.
part of the deal.
What if the Chiefs' offer had been better? What if what if the Chiefs had made it a harder call? Would your feeling, because look, Anders Carlson's going to get another shot. When you listen to the list of the numbers that I just gave you, the two guys that came in for workouts, Anders Carlson's numbers were better than theirs. So somebody is
literally
going to
what
get.
I just said.
I know, I'm agreeing with you. So somebody's going to say, our guy sucks, let's give this guy a shot. If the Chiefs had said that, would the draw of the hometown guy and everything else overwhelm these guys didn't really care about me when I was rehabbing my knee?
This might be one of my downfalls. This might be a downfall in my life. I can check my ego pretty easily. I didn't have a problem with it.
I would agree with that.
It's still, you want to have high expectations for yourself. I just knew where the fit was better. Mm-hmm. And when the opportunity arose, it was never a question. Mm-hmm. And if Anders wants to be irritated about being cut and doesn't want to come back, I think this is much more so, does Matt LaFleur and Brian Gutekunst think Anders can come in and make kicks?
Yeah,
consistently.
No doubt.
Can they trust him? And right now, if you have a Coors Light or a Tito's with Matt LaFleur and say, donuts to dollars, you got a 42-yard field goal to beat your Los Angeles Rams this weekend, do you want Anders Carlson kicking it or Narvi? I think he's going to say Anders Carlson.
I think it's dollars to donuts. But be that as it may.
Whatever. You knew what I'm saying.
I did. Yes, I did.
Jesse, who do you want lining up to make that kick?
Greg
Sunday
Joseph.
afternoon.
I want to trade a
He's
fourth.
not available.
I want to trade a 4th or 5th round pick to the Raiders and get Daniel Carlson.
So we would rather see the Packers. We'd rather see the Packers acquire Daniel Carlson from the Raiders than Devontae Adams from the Raiders.
Yep.
That's where we've landed today.
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah,
I agree.
That's a
You
no-brainer.
just gave us Daniel Carlson's stats. He's
I
good.
agree.
Bisaccia likes him.
He's 7 out of 9.
A 5th round pick?
That ain't that much better than Narvi.
It's better, though.
It's better than 9 out of 13.
It's not that
I'm not
much
a
better.
mathematician.
If the potential of a 5th round pick for Daniel Carlson for a team that's not going anywhere and might be willing to take that risk could get you a Super Bowl victory, make the deal.
Well, I mean, that's a pretty big if. Justin Tucker's missing kicks this year, too, people.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed. All right. We need to get to power rankings.
You guys didn't answer my question before we get to the power rankings. Anders, Narvi, who do you want with that? Poll that.
Narveson.
Pull that right now, Jelly. Who do you want lining up to make or miss that kick from 42 out in L.A. Sunday afternoon?
Daniel Whelan drop kicking it off the ground. All right. Tell us about
Just go for it every time.
Tell us about Quick Trip and what they got going on. Because when you walk in their door, you don't have to set your ego aside. You can save some money instead.
Well, I already told you all about Quick Trip. I went through all the chicken and everything else, but get ready for spring and do it now. Call Johnson & Sons Paving to make sure no pavement hazards get worse over the winter. Potholes, cracked curbs, drainage issues. If things are bad now, call Johnson & Sons Paving to get it fixed. Schedule a free, no-obligation quote and get a walkthrough of your pavement. They'll be able to see signs of asphalt pavement work that needs to be done by spotting fatigue cracking, standing water. You hate fatigue cracking. You can't stand bad fatigue cracking. Warping, buckling, sinking pavement, and more. Don't scare away your customers or tenants with bad curb appeal. Book now, save money later. JohnsonandSonsPaving.com.
Power Rankings Tuesday on a Wednesday's next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. The best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
That's the idea of a deal. Each side gets wins, right? They have Jordan Love under contract for the next 5 years.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30. Sponsored by Island Resort and Casino.
I think Packers fans would sign up for 12-5 today, and maybe they will be.
Right here on 94.5 ESPN, and also streaming live on the Wisconsin On Demand app and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
The kick is up and wide left.
Why don't they customize the goalposts? Make them wider.
Gina Della from Pella, how'd you get into the booth?
And why just yellow? Add some green stripes.
Sure, Gina. Should they also remove the G at midfield and paint a Pella crest?
Okay, Wayne, you can't customize a football game to go the way you want, but Pella can customize your home the way you want.
Right now, get 0% interest for up to 36 months. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 10/31/2024.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. In 1995, Tito Beveridge built his very own distillery and put his life savings into it. Since then, he's won the unanimous Judge's Choice Double Gold Medal at the World Spirits Competition, the Chairman's Trophy for World's Best Vodka Tonic, and many others. Tito's Handmade Vodka is still made on the same land where he started it, all in Austin, Texas. Distilled from corn and gluten-free. Visit us at Tito'sVodka.com for recipes, videos, and more. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Joe Fortenbaugh.
The fact that they had 10 days to get ready for the Broncos, who they've acquitted themselves nicely the last couple weeks, but you had 10 days to get ready for this team. You're playing at home. You allow 10 points, 186 total yards. You hold the opposition to 3 of 14 on third down. Can't lose that game, right? Championship caliber teams don't lose that game. Look at the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll always hold them up as the model. They are 4-0 this season. They could very easily be 0-4. Very easily. But it's 4 one-score games, and in every single scenario, they have found a way to avoid shooting themselves in the foot late in the game. They have found a way to avoid the major mistake that costs them. They just hang around. They've got the alligator blood, and when the moment presents itself, they find a way to close. That's what the really good teams do.
Alien Romulus has arrived in theaters and has already become a phenomenon.
Get it off! Get it off!
Run. Randy Jones of Entertainment Weekly raves it's the scariest movie I've seen this year. Oh my God. People are screaming it has the most insane final act of a film I've ever seen.
Ready?
We need to hurry. And Beyond Fest proclaimed, see it big, loud, and scream. Alien Romulus, rated R, now playing only in theaters.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's GetETHOS.com.
Guys, let's be honest. We like simple stuff. We like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated and uncompromising. Like an award-winning men's grooming experience from Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men in Oak Creek on Howell Avenue, just south of Putes Road. Open 7 days a week, even Sundays. Walk in anytime, and before you know it, our talented stylist will bring you back to a simpler time. A time when you were handsome and clean. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men in Oak Creek on Howell Avenue, just south of Putes Road. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Tito's Handmade Vodka, America's original craft vodka produced in Austin, Texas, and naturally gluten-free. Tito's Handmade Vodka.
Everywhere I go, the more I see, the less I know. But I know one thing, that I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you.
We did not have time yesterday, but we will make time today.
I'm fascinated. Jesse, thanks for putting that poll in the field. I think Packer fans are going to go with me on this. I think Anders going to win this bad boy.
The early returns, as I give it the Wilde Boost retweet, and this is further evidence that blue check mark that we're paying for pays dividends when it comes to polls. Because Jesse's already got 51 votes on the Wilde and Tausch Twitter feed. With these two as your only options to choose from, who would you rather see kicking for the Packers this Sunday? Braden Narvison or Anders Carlson?
That's a great question, Jason.
Jesse, Tausch. Where do you think the polling is currently?
60-40, Anders.
Jesse?
I looked. I don't know.
That's cheating.
Yeah.
59-41.
Let's
Anders
go.
Carlson.
Let's go, Anders.
Let's go,
Let's give Anders a second chance at a second chance.
All right. So before we do power rankings real quick, because it's already Wednesday, do you think that they should have just kept him to begin with? Because that's your guy who, on one side, you want to praise him for saying, hey, I'm not just going to keep the guy I drafted because of my ego. Yep. On the flip side, we all know that young kickers take a while. And he even said, he admitted he's too impatient with kickers. Then why the hell did you cut him?
So here's the deal. I don't have a problem with cutting him. But when you looked at the preseason, and I'm not up there watching every practice like you are, and I don't have any, I don't want to be doing that. Greg Joseph made a lot of kicks too. He had some ups and downs. I know his numbers last year weren't as good, but it just felt like to me watching the preseason, he wasn't just sneaking balls in. Like, it looked to me like he was ready to kind of take that role on. And it's easy to play the armchair kicking game. But he just went 5 for 5 in the game against the Cowboys. He's a veteran. When you have him in for competition, it was a pretty even matchup. Obviously, Anders missed what ended up, I believe, being his end-all at the end of that preseason game. That cost him his job.
It did.
I think I would have went with Greg Joseph, but if not, you tried. I respect the fact that you didn't just stand pat, just like I did with the quarterback position. We all want everything to work out swimmingly and beautifully the way we envision. And it's really hard as an architect to just admit and say, you know what, this beam ain't going to work here. We have to have a beam, but it ain't going to work here. We have to change course, and it's going to be costly to move this beam to here, but I have to do it. He did that with Malik Willis, and it worked out great. He did it with Anders and Joseph to bring in Narvi, and so far it has not worked.
Right?
It hasn't.
It hasn't.
He's not standing pat. But that doesn't mean you can't go home again. I think as you're sitting here, your best option was the option you didn't want. But it's your best option now.
Yeah.
and you give that opportunity for a young player to grow at other spots, a.k.a. Sean Ryan. What are you going to – now, kicking is more of a zero-sum deal. I get it. But who's to say that this won't be the rebirth of an Anders like it was a Daniel with the same coach?
All right, let's get to our
story. Hey, what a story that'd be for your little get your little quill pen out.
Yeah.
He goes to L.A., makes a game-winning kick, and all of a sudden old Wildy's writing should have always been Anders. We knew it was always Anders.
I will be writing that for sure. Instead, let's get to the power rankings Wednesday.
We are 1 day behind, and that's okay. The power rankings aren't going anywhere. Who's in the top 10 this week? Tausch, you want to try and run it down, see how you match ESPN's NFL Nation, the official power rankings of record on Wildy and Tausch?
Stratford.
Stratford is number 1 in the ESPN Wisconsin high school football small division media poll, which is unveiled every Tuesday.
Verona? I feel like Verona might be like third.
And they are number 3.
I looked at Summerall's list yesterday.
Yeah, they are number 3 in the large division. Yeah.
Where's Muskego?
Losers of 3 straight. Yeah. It's been a tough go for the old Warriors. They're going to bounce back. Got to get ready for the playoffs.
It's lonely out there being a Warrior.
So the Chiefs are number 1. The Chiefs are going to be number 1.
They are. There's a new number 2 this week. The Bills had been number 2.
Yeah, I'm going to say something crazy here.
Oh, boy.
I think Baltimore is number 2 at 2-2.
It is a purple team.
Score!
Oh, Minnesota's
let's win this game.
It may be just as my dislike of the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, you dislike them.
I can't get on board. I can't get on board with this. I can't.
They have the 3 best. If you're looking at resume,
I get it.
They have the 3 best wins.
Fellas, I get it. I understand why they're 2. I can't fight it, but I don't buy it. I don't know if that makes any sense to y'all, but that's where my head's at.
Buffalo is 3, even after the 35-10 loss.
Yeah.
Detroit is number 4.
Detroit's defense would be concerning to me if I was a Lion fan. But you could say the same thing about Green Bay, too. So
up 8 spots from last week into the top
Baltimore
5.
Ravens.
8 spots. That's a big move.
Baltimore Ravens.
Not the Baltimore Ravens.
He's just going to guess the Baltimore Ravens till we get to the Baltimore Ravens.
He's got about 2 more, and then he'll be right. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, number 5. Baker Mayfield, 3-1. And they just came off a big win against the Philadelphia Eagles at home last week. Looking pretty good. We get to see them on Thursday Night Football tomorrow night against Atlanta. The Seahawks.
So I just read something. There is now, after tonight, thank you, 55 straight days of college or professional football is going to be on TV.
Wow.
55 straight days of ball.
Man, we're going to be watching baseball.
Hopefully. Once the Brewers get eliminated, old T ain't going to be watching a lot of baseball. Facts.
Well, hopefully that's not that much longer.
You and Homer. Facts.
Number 6, the Seattle Seahawks after their loss to the Lions in a hard-fought contest. First loss of the year. Number 7, hey, look, the Baltimore Ravens.
Hey, look.
They're 2-2.
Can I tell you something right now? If I have the option of who I don't want to play, I'm picking Baltimore number 1.
Well, luckily they're in the other conference, so you only see them in the Super Bowl.
The Houston Texans are 8. The San Francisco 49ers are 2-2.
Bring them.
They are number 9. The Washington Commanders are number 10.
Ooh. Wait, where was Detroit? I'm sorry.
They're 4.
Okay, thank you.
Washington
by the way,
is 10.
Detroit, bring them. I want to change this new thing to, do the Packers want to bring them or keep them away? Bring them.
Oh, that's, really catchy.
Bring them
or keep them away.
All right.
Next on Wildy and Town.
Can't wait for that segment next week.
What would the music be?
This. So the Commanders are 10. The Packers are 11.
We need Bach.
And
Sebastian Bach.
All right, so the Packers are 11. That's no change from last week after the bad first half performance and the great second half performance in the comeback loss to the Vikings.
Yeah, so Jesse, I think the Packers are where they're at. They're teetering on that top 10, right there. Again, as I said last week or all week and on Sunday, this isn't the football team that it's going to be in November. I would venture to say by the afterwards of Halloween, this will be a top 8 team the rest of the way in your power rankings. And I would hope that the people that are doing the shows in Baltimore and in Kansas City, when they catch on to this bring 'em or leave 'em, most of them will say, leave 'em. I don't want the Packers to be brought into
Bring 'em or avoid 'em? Bring 'em or duck 'em? We got to work on it. We got to workshop
leave that up
this.
to you. Bring them,
or we don't want anything to do with those guys. They might be pretty good.
I'll say this, of NFC teams right now that I would say don't bring them, whatever you want to say, duck them, however Jason ends up writing this,
yeah,
I think that Washington football team would be right up at the top of the list as far as who I don't want brought in right now.
Are we just not believing in the Lions because that's our predisposition?
No. I like the matchup. I think the Lions can definitely beat us. But am I at all concerned about them offensively, that they're going to run up and down the field all day? I don't. I'm worried. What I'm watching from old boy, Jaden Daniels, it's pretty doggone impressive. I'd be very nervous going against him right now. Very nervous.
Okay.
So I don't want to bring him. I want to duck him or cluck him or whatever.
No, I think we should avoid both clucking and ducking. I don't think that's the road we want to go
You're
down.
the one that brought it up, not me.
I was workshopping. But we will work on this. Bring them or something, which is not what I want either. All right, that is our power.
That's really
Bring them or something.
Bring them or whatever. Okay.
I'm still working on it. I'll come up with something. Just like you're working on this week's prize picks because you no longer have that 0.5 passing yards to work with
little crutch
from
is
Caleb
gone.
Williams, who barely got over it.
Crutch is gone, but there's Taco Tuesdays and there's baseball and all kinds of fun stuff. On Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. Over 10 million users. Prize Picks, the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. All you do, pick more or less on a 2 to 6 player stat projections. Watch the winnings roll in. Get in on the daily action with your pals. Come on into this wonder. Bring them into the Prize Picks community. You can win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. The best way to win real money this football season. And it is simple. You make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your sports opinions into real money all season long on Prize Picks. Sign up today. Get $50 instantly when you play for $5. Don't need to even win to get that bonus. It's guaranteed. Download the app today. Use code WI, and you get instantly $50 after you play your first $5 lineup. Use code WI. You get $50 instantly after you play for your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Frankie Montas, 5 strikeouts tonight. What do we think, Tausch?
Are there any Taco Tuesdays, or is it Wacky Wednesday, or anything like that?
There are no Wednesday specials today. No, Taco Tuesday's done.
Well, I was on with KBN yesterday. They went with the 1 run in the first inning, and they nailed it. So I'm going to take a look. I don't know. I think it's going to be Quick Hook City tonight. Quick Hook City tonight in Milwaukee.
Bring them or hook them. Well, I'm still workshopping that. All right. We've got beef or pork, as it were, in the ESPN Madison chat, where Ivywood Records has incurred the wrath of Dennis in Plover. Accusations of chat hogging, blocking going on. Be nice to each other. Can't we all just get along?
I told you to stay out of there. We both did, actually.
Whoa, Nelly is next. It's Wildy and Tausch.
This is Wildy and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here, and these days I am sleeping better than ever. I am so thankful I met with the great team at Advent to help solve my sleeping problems. The Advent team is so great to work with, and their consultations are very informative. The Advent team listened to my struggles, and rather than forcing a surgery, they helped me find the best solution for a better night's sleep. My family and I are so thankful the solutions from Advent worked. To see how they can help you with snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems, go to adventknows.com, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Lock in for October. Brewers postseason tickets are on sale now. Clear your schedule, claim your spot, and be here for a Brewers postseason run you don't want to miss at brewers.com/postseason.
Don't miss a moment of football this season at 3rd Street Market Hall in downtown Milwaukee, your one-stop, must-stop viewing destination. 3rd Street Market Hall has over 15 locally owned food vendors, a self-serve beer wall, over 50 HD TVs, and game day specials. What more could you need? If you're not at the game, this is the place to be every Saturday and Sunday. View the vendor list and 30 self-serve beer options at 3rdstreetmarkethall.com. That's 3rdstreetmarkethall.com.
Homer here to tell you about Rawhide Youth Services. Co-founded in 1965 by Bart and Cherry Starr, Rawhide is a faith-based nonprofit that helps thousands of youth every year, many right here in Milwaukee, overcome trauma, suicidal thoughts, and live better lives. For youth who are hurting, who feel lost or abandoned, and families feeling powerless to help them, Rawhide is there to help. They also need vehicle donations to support their mission of helping hurting youth transform their future. Donate to Rawhide Youth Services. Visit rawhide.org/donate.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Tri-City National Bank offers a full suite of personal and business banking products at 28 convenient locations. Open your account today at the community bank that was voted Milwaukee's best bank. Learn more at tcnb.com.
Braden Narveson missed both of his field goal attempts in the Packers' Week 4 loss to the Vikings. The rookie kicker also missed field goals in each of the team's first 2 games as well. But despite that, head coach Matt LaFleur still has confidence in Narveson.
I still got a lot of belief in him. I've seen it in practice. I told you guys from day one, have seen his ability. So, it's just part of it. I wouldn't blink if we have to put him out there in another situation.
The 2-2 Packers preparing for a visit to the 1-3 Los Angeles Rams on Sunday. Kickoff is set for 3:25.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank.
Concerned about fraud? Tri-City's got your back. Use debit card alerts. Help stop a card hack. You'll get notified when your card's being used so you can prevent your account from abuse. Tri-City National Bank. Member FDIC.
Stay up to date on the green and gold all season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee. The Crusaders are rolling.
4th and 2, Tobias Lopez takes the handoff, cuts through the middle. Not only the first down, he's into the end zone for his 3rd touchdown of the night.
On Friday night, Catholic Memorial is back on the road to take on New Berlin Eisenhower. Crusaders football is presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, R&R Insurance, Home Sealed Exteriors, and DM Accounting and Consulting Service. Tune into the action Friday night starting at 6:30 on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, or at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
If only life had a remote control, you could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
You got all different emojis you can use in the chat room there on the YouTube channels. All kinds of fun stuff.
It's so funny to me. Like, you don't want to do Digi only, and now you're hooked. You can't get out of there.
All right, in fairness, it took me a while to come around, I will grant you. But I think I've been very supportive of the digital space and retweeting and all that good
Especially
stuff.
recently. Yes, you've been great.
So we're just happy to have everyone.
You love
so dedicated.
attaboys, don't you? You love a good attaboy, don't you?
Well, no, that wasn't an
you
attaboy.
love attaboys.
That wasn't an attaboy.
You love attaboys
myself.
Oh, Jason, thank you for you do. There's nothing wrong with loving a good attaboy.
Whoa, Nelly!
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde and Tausch.
All right, just one question today.
Jesse, does Jason love a good attaboy or what?
I think everybody loves a good attaboy.
But, like, really loves an attaboy.
Bring it or
attaboy.
All right, Jesse, what do you got?
So I had a dentist appointment yesterday, and it's a cool dentist office. They have TVs, like when you lay back, there's a TV on the ceiling. I don't know if every dentist office does this or not.
I think they're doing that now. I think that's
so. You
common.
can you can have something on, but. I purposely had the dentist appointment at a time where I knew playoff baseball would be on, and I'd be like, "Oh, that'd be great! I can go sit in the chair and turn the baseball game on and sit back and enjoy it instead of the usual."
Smart.
Usually, it's a rerun of Friends. I think on TBS is usually on in the afternoons. Is on the TVs.
Wixie and Reed and the whole ensemble.
Yeah, everybody. Watson's injured, so he's not there, but everybody else is.
Was watching
it's not that important though.
Watching that inning where the Brewers gave up 5 runs like a root canal.
Nicely done.
Not bad.
So the Brewers weren't on yet. It was the Tigers-Astros game.
Sure, Astros.
And I sat down, and the hygienist starts talking to me about everything we got going on, and she's catching up. Oh, how's the dog? How's your summer?
How's the radio show?
And I regretted.
Do you go to the same hygienist all the time?
Yeah.
Like a barber?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
I just go whenever you can get a spot. You just go.
No,
right?
it's almost always with the same person. I think one time I had to make a late adjustment, and it wasn't.
Okay. Very interesting.
I chickened out, and I never asked her to change the TV channel. So, drama at the end of the Tigers-Astros game, bases loaded, end of it. And I'm sitting there watching like the clip show of all the times that Ross and Rachel almost got together instead of asking her to turn. Is there a right way? Because I've run into this at the bar. I've run into this at getting a haircut.
Did it accidentally click off? Or you had it on the game?
No, it was never on. I never asked her to turn it on. It was always on Friends. And I never asked her to turn on the baseball game.
Was I not listening correctly? I thought the game was on.
You're literally paying. Yes, I thought you were watching the game.
No.
Yes.
You're paying to be in their spot. That's like going to a bar and say, is it wrong for me to ask for a drink? Like, what
it is if it's not a
doing
Coors Light or a Tito's, though.
I do feel bad anytime I'm at a place and like they haven't turned the TV to the game it's supposed to be. We were out for March Madness last March on the night of the Sweet 16, and they didn't have one of the games on at one of the bars we were at. I'm like, hey, can we get the game? They were busy,
I am
but I'm
the
like, can we
total
get the game
opposite
on?
of you. So, Jesse, I will go up to the bar manager or a waitress or whomever and say, hey, you got Big Ten Network on to watch this. Or the other night I was like, hey, can you turn on the Lions game? They want to accommodate you because then hopefully you'll spend money with them.
My problem was we started with all the small talk up front, catching up, and then we sat down, and then once you're in the chair, you're open, and you.
Hey, what's the score of the Tigers game? I can't believe what I just saw. I love Jason Benetti does a great job with Tigers Radio. I mean, you got all kinds of different options that you could jump into.
Just ask her to turn the channel.
Or you could say, hey, what do you think the score of that Astros game is? You could passive-aggressively do it.
Is there a right or wrong way to ask someone to turn the TV channel?
Can you turn the channel, please? I'd like to watch the baseball game while you're cleaning my bicuspids.
All right.
Yeah.
Maybe I've overthought this one this time.
I think you might have. Yes. All right, that's it for Whoa Nelly, and what experience it was.
Wow.
No cavities. Great teeth, according to the doctor. That's great.
How's your gum line, though? You gotta
Looking
make sure
good. He said, everything's looking great, he said. Looking great.
Now who needs attaboys? Hey, way to go not having any cavities. Well done.
Yeah.
Well,
what a word.
Jesse Nelson, DDS, wraps things up next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Hey, it's ESPN Wisconsin's Alex Stroh. Green Bay looks to right the ship this weekend out in Los Angeles. Join me, John Anderson, and former Green Bay tackle Bryan Bulaga as we get you set beginning at noon on Green Bay Game Day. Rob Domofsky, Jason Wilde will both join us as we preview Packers and Rams.
Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
The kick is up and wide left.
Why don't they customize the goalposts? Make them wider.
Gina Della from Pella, how'd you get into the booth?
And why just yellow? Add some green stripes.
Sure, Gina. Should they also remove the G at midfield and paint a Pella crest?
Okay, Wayne, you can't customize a football game to go the way you want, but Pella can customize your home the way you want.
Right now, get 0% interest for up to 36 months. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 10/31/2024.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. In 1995, Tito Beveridge built his very own distillery and put his life savings into it. Since then, he's won the unanimous Judge's Choice Double Gold Medal at the World Spirits Competition, the Chairman's Trophy for World's Best Vodka Tonic, and many others. Tito's Handmade Vodka is still made on the same land where he started it, all in Austin, Texas. Distilled from corn and gluten-free. Visit us at Tito'sVodka.com for recipes, videos, and more. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
UW Credit Union presents the Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org. Here's Ashton Rotman with the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
This week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week is Economilwaukee's Cashton Allen. The senior wide receiver putting up a couple of video game scores in the Raccoons' first ever conference win over Arrowhead. Allen's 2 touchdowns totaled 167 yards. The first coming on a 70-yard catch and run touchdown, followed up by a 97-yard display of quickness and footwork leading to the second touchdown. All part of Economilwaukee's 28-21 win over Arrowhead to stay undefeated on the season. Cashton is also a big piece on the court for the Raccoons. A 6'3 shooting guard, Allen's junior season saw him average over 12 points a game. Congratulations to this week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, two-sport athlete Cashton Allen.
There's a good chance you're on a budget. We all are. But she wants a diamond. You know it. I know it. And Robert Hack Diamonds knows it too, because they offer a huge collection of lab-grown diamonds, and they sell them at crazy prices. How about 2-carat total weight diamond studs for $8.95? Robert Hack Diamonds can get any size, shape, or clarity in natural or lab-grown diamonds. Don't buy until you call Robert Hack Diamonds. $8.95 for a 2-carat pair of diamond studs. Oh, baby! Robert Hack Diamonds in Greenfield and in Brookfield. Why overspend when you can save at Robert Hack Diamonds for the same diamond you're looking for? Some jewelers are charging nearly $5,000 for a lab-grown diamond. Not Robert Hack. Your visit will be worth it, and she'll think so too. Robert Hack also offers repair services and cash for your old gold. But remember, before you do anything, as I did, RobertHackDiamonds.com, and visit them in Brookfield or in Greenfield.
Football fans, get ready to elevate your game day experience. Milwaukee Broadhouse downtown has the ultimate package for stress-free fun this football season. With rides starting at $85 per person, hop on their round-trip buses from Milwaukee Broadhouse downtown for every green and gold home game. Enjoy all you can drink on the ride and a private restroom. Want even more? Upgrade your ticket and add on an all-you-can-eat and drink tailgate package for an additional $30. Spots are filling up fast. Book today at MilwaukeeBroadhouse.com. Milwaukee Broadhouse, located on MLK Drive downtown.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Do you have any suggestions for... I think we did like a pick 'em or flick 'em once. It was some booger jokes in there somewhere.
McFarland. Yeah, it didn't go so well. He might be on that list with Boog.
What do we have for bring 'em or fling 'em, sting 'em?
JJ in Poinette, Lando in Tosa, Matt in West Bend, all proposing bring 'em or fling 'em.
we're trying to avoid them. So it's got to be something along the lines of avoidance.
Fling
you
means
fling
keep
them away.
Yeah, we don't want anything to do with that.
Yeah, you fling them away. It's not bad.
Bring them, come on in.
Bad.
Fling them, get them out of here. That seems like it has the best juice to it.
Yeah,
I don't like
works.
it. I don't like it.
Unless you come up with something better, we're going with our boys.
How about rock them or block them?
No, it's got to be bring them because it's this. I just love this part. Like, the camera part, bring them. Like, I want you coming to Lambeau.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yes, we've established the bring them part is good. It's the other part we got to work.
And fling them is the next best thing we've heard.
That's best. That's the best we've got so far. I will agree with that statement.
Okay.
That's it for us today. We will do it again tomorrow.
Anders Carlson, bring him back. Let's go.
Brewers getting a win tonight. Bring them.
Bring them.
We'll see. Bring Game 3, please. We'll find out together tonight. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on Wisconsin On Demand.
Hey, this is the Fat Jack, and we're heading into October. Are you ready to make some money betting on sports? Go to FatJackSports.com. Basketball season starts at the end of the month. Players, props, soccer, and of course college and the NFL. Profit coming your way through a personal portal and emailed to you each day. Consistent winning plays that are then posted and documented at FatJackSports.com. Less than $100 a week for longer packages to actually build profit betting on sports. Go to FatJackSports.com and win.